2 of the IHSAA High School Football Playoffs as the 9-1 Mississinewa Indians match up against the 5-5 Yorktown Tigers. The Indians are fresh off of a 35-9 win last week over Western, led by their leader Cade Campbell, who carried the ball 28 times for 3 touchdowns.
We came out hot and heavy on the first play. We scored a touchdown. We were all amped up. Second quarter, it was a lot slower. They were pounding us a little bit, and they got a touchdown in, and we were playing slow on offense and defense. But come third and fourth quarter, we picked it up and just started running away with it.
Defensively, Kyle Funk and Tobias Mead came up with some key stops. As Mead describes, plays on both sides of the ball led to the victory.
We didn't take a play off, 11 men to the ball every time. Our offense was good. So, it was a pretty good game. We knew that we were going to come out and it's going to be a dogfight.
But tonight, it's different. A trip to the Sectional 21 championship is on the line against a Yorktown team that airs the ball out, coming off of a dominating win 1 week ago against Frankfort. The quarterback is Reed Neal, and he's their star. Last week, Neal connected on 11 passes for 160 yards and 3 touchdowns. As the Indians coach Funk says, this will be a true test.
They're going to do a great job throwing the football. We went from a run team tonight, and they're going to do a great job throwing the football. We're going to have to be ready to go.
Are the Indians up for the challenge? Can they host the sectional championship for the 2nd straight year? We'll soon find out as we throw it live to Yorktown for tonight's round 2 matchup with our broadcast crew of Dalton Bishop and Ryan Scott.
Hello and good evening, football fans. Welcome to Yorktown High School for week 2 of the IHSAA football sectional. Dalton Bishop alongside the voice of the Indians, Ryan Scott. And Ryan, here tonight, the Indians match up with the Tigers.
Yeah, a very cold evening at Yorktown. Again, Indians have a fight waiting on them. The Tigers will come out strong, especially they're airing the ball a lot, like we said earlier.
Taking a look at the Yorktown schedule earlier today, they're 5-5 on the year, but that record is very misleading, losing to the number 1 team in Class 5A, New Pal, 2 weeks ago. Yorktown's played some very good football teams. Like you said, Ryan, they're going to be ready to go here tonight against the Indians. Yeah,
let's start off right off the bat with a few stats here. We'll go to, the tournament history. Let's start off with Mississinewa. Since 1983 has played in 59 sectional games. Since 1983 have played in 5 regional games. And since 1983 has played in 1 semi-state game. And we will move on to the team stat comparison. Let's start off with Mississinewa. Rushing yards per game is 264. Passing yards per game is 111. Total yards per game is 375. Tackles per game is 81. Sacks per game is 1. And they're averaging 42 points a game.
Taking a look at the Yorktown Tigers, 105 rushing yards per game, but they do most of their offense in the air, 188 passing yards per game. They average 294 yards a game. Tackles per game, 66.5 tackles per game for the Yorktown Tigers, 1.5 sacks, and 32 points per game. So on paper, the Indians have the advantage.
Yeah, most definitely. Let's move on to the team leaders, and we'll go with Mississinewa. Rushing yards per game is led by number 21, Heisman Skeens, with 116. Passing yards per game is number 21, Heisman Skeens, with 109. Total yards per game is by number 21, Heisman Skeens, with 225. Tackles per game is led by number 17, Kyler Funk, with 13. Sacks per game is by number 43, Tobias Mead. And points per game is by number 35, Cade Campbell, with 16.
Taking a look at the Yorktown Tigers, a little bit of a similar story for Yorktown, like Mississinewa. One player pretty much does it all, and that's Reed Neal, their quarterback. He wears number 12, 62 rushing yards per game, 188 passing yards per game. He averages 250 total yards a game. On the defensive side, it's Aaron Willis with about 10 tackles a game. Gehrig Selmstig with 1 sack per game, and points goes to number 25, Austin Hill. We will take a 2-minute timeout. Me and Ryan will go down to the field and do some pregame work. This is Mississinewa Indians football from Yorktown High School.
Tigers for the second round of Sectional 21. Joined by me is partner Dalton Bishop. And Dalton, let's take it back to last week. Welcome to Yorktown High School, home of the Tigers for the second round of Sectional 21. Joined by me is partner Dalton Bishop. And Dalton, let's take it back to last week before we get things started here. Last week it was a big win for the Indians.
Yeah, absolutely. Cade Campbell put on a show once again. I believe 176 rushing yards on 28 carries for 3 touchdowns. So Cade again proved to be a Panther killer and in the hopes of the Panthers last week. But like you said, a big win for the Indians.
Yeah, for sure. And let's talk about what does the Indians have to do tonight to get the second round win captured?
I definitely think that the pass coverage has to be better. Having the chance to talk to Coach Funk last week after the win, tonight we're going to see a little bit more passing out of Yorktown than we will of them running the ball. Western was a team that liked to ground and pound, and like Coach Funk said, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. But tonight you're going to see Yorktown air the ball out, and the Indians struggled earlier in the year, of course, against the Alexandria Tigers. Alexandria really passed the ball well against the Indians, so hopefully the Indians have that corrected and are able to stop that here tonight.
Yeah, let's take it back to the first quarter. The first play of the game, you did not see Heisman Skeens behind the ball at the QB position. What are your thoughts on that play right there?
I really thought that from that point forward, after the touchdown, it really set the tone for the game. Once the Indians were able to get into the end zone, like you said, just 19 seconds into the game, you could kind of see the frustration out of Western, and then Western just never looked in sync the rest of the game. Heisman really did them in.
Yeah, Heisman Skeens took it down the sideline for the Indian touchdown with at least 19 seconds into the game. Dalton, let's take it back again to tonight. It's second round, and you and I get to call another sectional football game together.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Like we tell each other each year when we get to this point in the season, it's now or the end of the season for us. So hopefully the Indians can get another big win tonight and advance to the championship, and hopefully we will get the opportunity to try to call another sectional championship.
Take a 3-minute break and be back with more of the Indian stats, Yorktown stats, and Meet the Indians, and interviews from both head coaches. You're watching Mississinewa Indians pregame show live from Yorktown High School. Welcome back to Yorktown High School. Let's take a couple minutes and let's meet the Indians.
Welcome back to more of our pregame shows. We meet the Indians for the second week of round 2 of sectionals, and Drew Castanon talk about the season and what it meant to get a win over Western last week.
Well, the season started off not very good. I've only played like 3 games, but it just felt really good to win that first round of sectionals against Western, opponent who it was a really close game last year, and I was glad we could blow them out of the water.
You had a good defensive play in that game, an interception that kind of was able to get the momentum back rolling again.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just read the quarterback, went up, caught the ball like usual.
You know, like you said, you only played 3 games this year and battled through some injury, but now you're back. And first off, how's it feel to be back? And secondly, how was you able to keep the confidence to be able to work back and be able to play?
Oh, man, it just feels great to finally be actually practicing, hitting people, just going back to normal. And I just stayed strong with all my teammates, hung out with them, just never gave up.
Drew, thanks for your time and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Standing with junior Kyler Funk, and Kyler, a big win over Western last week. You advanced to the second week now, and you get Yorktown here tonight. Kind of walk us through how the season's been so far.
You know, it's been great, especially our junior class. We've all just stepped up, I think, from last year to this year, and I'm just really proud of us and what we've been doing. It's just a brotherhood from here and then out.
How big of a win was it for you and your football team to get a win over Western last week and advance to tonight?
Well, I'm so happy, you know. We got to worry about tonight, though, like you said, against Yorktown. But I'm just really happy that we beat Western because there's a lot of history going back for my dad and like me, obviously, and my teammates. And, yeah, it's just Western. I'm glad we beat them, you know.
How cool would it be for you and your dad and the rest of the football team to go back-to-back years and be a sectional champion again?
That'd be awesome, you know. Regional championship, hopefully we'll play like Mooresville or Greenwood, whoever. It doesn't really matter to any of us, but I just want to like be there and get the Lucas Oil and get a ring this year for all of us.
Well, Kyler, thanks for your time. Good luck today against Western or Yorktown rather, and let's go for a second one.
Yep, thank you.
Welcome back to the Tribe Sports Network as we continue with Meet the Indians, and we're joined by our third junior of the day, Skylar Tackett. And Tackett, you guys got a big win over Western last week, and you get Yorktown here tonight. Walk us through the season and walk us through a little bit about what you know about Yorktown.
Yeah, we started off the season real rough and shaky. Our line wasn't really put together that well. Then Friday we came out against Western and really put everything together. Our line stepped up huge, and I think we set the tone as being Western as a physical team, and we just came out the first snap and hit them in the mouth, and it broke their will.
You know, a lineman like yourself, you see Heisman Skeens go down there in the first quarter, one of your team leaders, and just kind of talk about what it was like as a team to step up and battle that adversity and be able to get that win. What was that like, being able to battle that adversity?
Yeah, Coach Funk's always talking about the next man up, and we brought the linemen together, and we just said, we got to put everybody on our back, and it all starts with us, and it don't matter who's running the ball. And if we get the blocks, we can get the yards, you know.
You get Yorktown here tonight. Kind of talk to us a little bit about what you know about this team.
Yeah, they're a tough opponent. They like to spread us out. It's known to be one of our weaknesses. That's why we got to have a big week of practice working on our weaknesses so it could become one of our strengths.
If you're able to knock off Yorktown here tonight, no matter who you play, whether it's Marion or Delta in the sectional championship, it will be in Gas City. Kind of talk to us a little bit about what that would mean to you to be able to be a sectional champion for the second straight year.
Yeah, just big to the program how much Coach Funk and the organization flipped everything around, because 5-6 years ago we weren't known for putting up anything in sectionals or anything, and now that we're starting to get state recognition over everything, it's real big, and hopefully we can continue it.
Skylar, thanks for your time. Good luck today against Yorktown, and like I told Kyler, let's go for 2 in a row.
Yes, sir.
Skylar Tackett, junior lineman for the Mississinewa Indians, will come back with more of our pregame show after this. This is Mississinewa Indians football on the Tribe Sports Network.
Welcome back to Yorktown High School, home of the Tigers for, like we have been saying, for the second round of Sectional 21. And Dalton, let's take a 30-second break, and we'll hear the interviews from Coach Frunk and Coach Wilhelm of the Yorktown Tigers. We'll be back in 30. You're watching Minnesota Indians football on the Tribe Sports Network. Let's hear the words from Yorktown's head coach.
Welcome back to the pregame show, and we're joined by Mike Wilhelm, head coach of the Yorktown Tigers. And Coach, welcome to week 2 of the IHSAA sectional. How's the season gone for you and your team leading up to this point?
For us, it's been up and down. We've been consistent in some games and inconsistent in others. We've won the games we were supposed to win, and really haven't won any games that we're not supposed to win. So I think that's the challenge tonight. No one's picking Yorktown to win this game, and it's got to be a game for us where we come out and challenge Mississinewa and see if we can beat a team that's supposedly better than us.
But taking a look at your schedule, your record is kind of misleading by the losses that you have. They are quality losses. You played some really good football teams this year.
Yeah, I mean, when you play the number 1 team in 5A, New Pal, that's a good game. But our losses were bad because we lost by a lot of points, and you don't like to see that as a coach. They weren't competitive for the entire. We weren't competitive for the entire game, and that's our challenge. We need to be competitive for our entire 48 minutes.
What do you have to do tonight to knock off this Indian football team?
I think we just have to tackle. We have to attack instead of sit around and let Mississinewa's excellent offense come after us. Because there's no doubt there are playmakers on that offense and just some big guys, as big as the offensive lines we've seen in our conference, and they like to attack. So kind of our mantra tonight is we have to attack on defense if we want to be successful. Then offensively, we need to be efficient. We've been up and down offensively. When we're really efficient, we have really good games, and that's kind of our goal: be efficient.
Health-wise, how are you coming into tonight?
We have a lot of injuries this year. We don't use that as an excuse. Our starting running back's out tonight, Britton Wheat. So we'll have some guys who have to step up and play running back for us tonight.
Coach, thanks so much for your time and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Mike Wilhelm, the head coach of the Yorktown Tigers, will be back with more of our pregame show after this.
After the 60-second timeout.
Welcome back to the varsity pregame show on the Tri Sports Network. Joins me now is Coach Funk. Coach 2, it's the second round of Sectional 21. How you feeling?
Feeling good. We had fall break this week, so it's always a little bit different. Schedule changes. Kids had the whole week off, but I really was happy with our kids' focus all week.
Since it is you're not used to grass as much, anything will affect the players tonight?
No, we practice on grass all week on our practice field. It's a little bit wet, but it's going to be wet for both teams. And, we're just going to have to go out here and secure the football.
What do you know about Yorktown? That'll hopefully not be a two-stop for you.
Yorktown's an extremely good football team. We're going to have our hands full tonight. They do a tremendous job throwing the football. They got a great quarterback in junior Reed Neal. He's really, talented. He has a talented group of receivers. They're stout with their run defense. So, we're a run-heavy team, and the strength of their defense is their run defense. They play in a tough conference, and they pass the ball really well. So, we're gonna have to play really well tonight.
Coach, how are you guys health-wise?
Health-wise, we're okay. We still got Caden Cole out, but other than that, we're good to go.
Coach, thank you for your time. Best of luck.
Hey, thank you.
Football coach of the Mississinewa Indians will be back in 60 seconds for the rest of the varsity pregame, live from Yorktown High School.
Welcome back to the home of the Tigers for, again, the second round of Sectional 21. And let's go over again the team leaders. First for Mississinewa. Rushing yards per game is number 21, Heisman Skeens, with 116. Passing yards per game is by number 21, Heisman Skeens, with 109. Total yards per game is by Heisman Skeens with 225. Tackles per game is by number 17, Kyler Funk, with 13. Sacks per game is by number 43, Tobias Mead, with .6. And points per game is by number 35, Cade Campbell, with 16.
Taking a look at the Yorktown Tigers, as we heard in the interview, Coach Funk, Reed Neal does it all for the Tigers, number 12. Rushing yards per game, 62 rushing yards per game for Reed Neal. He wears number 12 again. Passing yards per game, Reed Neal, 188 passing yards per game. Total yards per game, guess who? Reed Neal again, 250.5 total yards per game. On the defensive side, 10 tackles per game for number 47, Aaron Willis. Number 41, Garrick Selmstig, 1 sack per game. And number 25, Austin Hill, averages 8.2 points per game. So taking a look on paper as far as the team leaders go, pretty even as far as the individual players go. Now, Ryan, let's take a look at the team stats. First for the Ole Miss Indians.
Rushing yards per game is 264. Passing yards per game is 111. Total yards per game is 375. Tackles per game is 81. Sacks per game is 1. And points per game is 42.
Taking a look at the Yorktown Tigers, they average 105 rushing yards per game. In the air, 188 passing yards per game, 295 total yards per game. Tackles per game, 66.5. They have averaged 1 sack and 32 points per game. And so, Ryan, by taking a look at the individual players, they match up pretty even. But when you look at the team numbers, Mississinewa has the advantage.
Yeah, and not only Mississinewa has the advantage, but like we heard it earlier in the pregame show, Yorktown airs the ball a lot.
Yorktown is a very, very good football team, and I'm going to tell you one thing. If the Indians think that they're just going to come in here and walk all over this Tiger team, they got another thing coming.
Yes, for sure. And let's go back to more of, back in the past. Mississinewa versus Yorktown, they have met 2 total times in sectional play. The series is tied 1-1. So, Dalton, Mississinewa hasn't got to play Yorktown as much.
No, they haven't. And, like Coach Funk said, this team likes to pass the ball. They do a phenomenal job passing the ball. Their quarterback, Reed Neal, a very versatile player offensively. Like Coach Funk said, they got some pretty stout receivers that can catch the ball, and if they get out in the open, then it's bad news for the opposing team. So, the Indians have got to play some defense here tonight.
Yeah, let's move back to, like we talked about just a moment ago, what were the 2 matchups that were played against Mississinewa versus Yorktown? That'd be back in 2005 when they went 8-3 under head coach Steve Rinker. That had been October 21st with a win 35-6. And 2004 when the Indians went 7-4, that was Coach Steve Rinker home against Yorktown with a 6-28 loss. So like we said, not too many times the Mississinewa Indians have got to play the Yorktown Tigers, but let's see what Mississinewa can do tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ryan, as we talk about seeing what the Indians can do tonight, keys to victory first for the Indians, Ryan. What do the Indians have to do, you think, offensively to be able to knock off this Tiger team?
You have to find open space. Like we saw last week, you got to find the sideline, and I think that's one of the most important things. And maybe it's like last week. We might see 3 quarterbacks tonight as well.
Something for me is the same thing. Find the open space, but something that I've really looked at this season for the Indians, and something that's really impressed me. They don't get as much recognition as they should because they are probably the most important people on the football field at all times, and that's the offensive and defensive line. Offensively, the line, you won't get that open space unless the line does what they're supposed to do and get out and block. So, keys to me, for me, like you said, the open space, but the line's got to block.
Yeah, defensively for me, for the Indians, is you got to get stopped. You can't let as many first downs, and you got a quick stop, and especially when you have Cruz in there, it should be a lot easier.
Yeah, Ryan, like for me, defensively, we talked about earlier this year, and we talked about it all this week, Ryan, when we had the chance to go and check out some of the Indians practice a little bit, and just me and you talking off the air, but even before we came on the air tonight. Something the Indians have to do defensively is cover the middle of the field. When the Indians played at Alexandria earlier this year, Alexandria passed the ball and was able to get across the middle of the field and get into the end zone. Yorktown likes to pass. If they can get to the middle of the field and find open receivers, the Indians are going to have a lot of trouble. So for me, you got to keep the ball out of the air.
Yeah, especially when you have a talented Reed Neal that handles the ball super well offensively. Like you said, you got to keep the ball from out of the sky.
For Yorktown, I think their keys to victory offensively is like we just said, defensively for the Indians. You got to find the middle of the field, and you got to get your receivers the football because Reed Neal, like we said, is dangerous, and he can pass the ball. So offensively for Yorktown, they got to get the ball to the middle of the field to the receivers.
Yes, 12 minutes to play until the opening kick, and we will take a 2-minute break and be back with more of the Indians and the Tiger stats. You're watching Mississinewa Indians football on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to more of the varsity pregame show. 11 minutes until kickoff. Let's do an injury report. Injury report is brought to you by Marion General Hospital. Let's start off with Yorktown.
Yeah, Ryan, we talked to Coach Wilhelm just a little bit earlier, and they're battling some adversity already coming into tonight. They're starting running back, 5'11 senior, 180 pounds, number 44, Britton Wheat, is out for tonight's game, so Yorktown's got to battle some adversity already.
Yeah, especially one of their key players, and not as this is so important, but I counted at least 7 players that were injured tonight, but especially with that one key player. Let's move to Mississinewa. The only really, I would say, major injury tonight is by number 1, Caden Cole, with a knee injury, so he will be out at least this game, and hopefully he'll be back next week.
Yeah, because unfortunately, Caden Cole is he does an outstanding job offensively and defensively for Ole Miss. He's a key component to that team, and like you said, hopefully he'll get better and we'll be able to see him.
Yeah, especially and like we said, keep on saying over and over, a key player, and that'll hurt you.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the rosters for both teams. When you look at the offensive and defensive line for both teams, Coach Funk and the Indians have got a very, very big offensive and defensive line. Right now we can go ahead and take a look at the offensive and defensive starters for Yorktown. Quarterback number 11, Reed Neal, he will be their starting quarterback. At the halfback position will be number 42, Jamarius Evans. The wide receivers will be number 80, Jared Harris. He's a senior. A sophomore, number 88, Walker Moore, will be the other receiver. He wears number 88. At the other two receivers is a junior, number 16, Mylon McCowan. The other receiver, a junior, number 25, Austin Hill. Offensive guard, number 72, Holden Parsons. He's a junior. Number 76, Billy McNamara. He is a junior offensive guard as well. Looking at the center, a junior, number 73, Dom Cantorazite. A offensive tackle, number 58, he's a junior, Caleb Howe. The other offensive tackle will be a senior, number 59, Taylor Licht. Looking at the special teams, kick return, number 17, Mylon McCowan. Number 25, Austin Hill, and number 80, Jared Harris, will do most of the returns. The punt return will be returned by number 25, Austin Hill. He is a junior. Taking a look at the kicker, number 80, Jared Harris. The punter will be number 88, Walker Moore. Taking a look at the defensive starters, defensive end, number 59, Taylor Licht. A defensive tackle, number 72, Holden Parsons. The other defensive tackle will be number 53, Mason Graham. He's a senior. Defensive end, number 58, Caleb Howe. Inside linebacker, number 73, Don Cantorazite. The other inside linebacker will be number 51, Devin Thompson, a senior. The outside linebackers, number 42, Jamarius Evans, and number 85, John LaPrade. LaPrade is a sophomore. The quarterback, number 82, Alex Gibson. The safety, number 25, Austin Hill. And the other cornerback to the other side of the field will be number 80, Jared Harris.
Yes, we're going to take a 60-second break and be back, and we'll talk about the Sectional 21 matchups tonight as going, another one down the road. We'll be back in 60. You're watching Mississinewa Indians pregame on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to the varsity pregame show. Dalton, let's talk about a little bit of the sectional 21 lineup if you want to do the top half of the bracket.
Yeah, last week, Pendleton Heights and Marion met up in Marion. Pendleton Heights fell up a little bit short. Marion goes on and wins that game, 49-35, which advances them to this week. Their matchup tonight, they will play Delta, a winner over Lebanon, 28-14 last week. So a very good matchup going on over at Delta here tonight. Marion takes on Delta.
Yeah, let's move down to the bottom half of the bracket. Yorktown beat Frankfort 53-7. Western took the loss to Mississinewa 35-9. This week's lineup, the 5-5 Yorktown Tigers and the 9-1 Mississinewa Indians will meet up tonight.
Yeah, and the Indians and the Tigers just came out onto the field, and we are just moments away from getting tonight's action underway here from Yorktown High School. We'll take a 60-second timeout and come back with a coin toss. This is Mississinewa Indians football on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Yorktown High School. Ryan, just a few minutes away from the coin toss. We'll get the captains, and we are just moments away, and it's time to play football here in Yorktown.
Yeah, it's exciting for us, exciting for fans, and especially excited for players and coaches. It's a big accomplishment to make it to week 2 of the Central or IHSAA Sectional 21.
Yeah, IHSAA Sectional 21 talked about all over the state of Indiana. One of the toughest sectionals to play in throughout the entire state. And the captains will go to center of the field, and we will get the coin tossed here in just a few seconds. So, again, Yorktown without their star running back, Britton Wheat, out for tonight.
And Mississinewa without one of their key players, number 1, Caden Cole.
Let's see. They will get the look here from the officials. We will see who has won the toss. So here we go. Here comes the call. Yorktown has won the toss. They elect to defer, and the Indians will elect to receive. So we will see offensively what the Indians have in store here early in this game. So, Ryan, Yorktown elects to defer. They're going to step it up on defense, and Heisman Skeens and the Indians will start the night off on offense.
I tell you what, this is when our when we start to stand up and we start to get loud here in Yorktown for Sectional 21, and we'll let the players make their way to the fields, and we'll be back in 1 minute for the opening kick here in Yorktown.
Welcome back to Yorktown High School. Heisman Skeens and Cade Campbell back to receive for the Indians. Ryan, it only took 19 seconds a week ago. Can they break the 19-second record and make it earlier than that?
Let's see what the Indians can do. Like you said, 2 in the backfield, and let's get this Sectional 21 underway in Yorktown.
Their kicker, number 80, Jared Harris, will be set to kick it off. For the Tigers, the rain is falling, the wind is blowing. It's kind of cold here in Yorktown, but nonetheless, we're ready to play football. Here comes the opening kick, and who will get the ball? Here's the kick, kind of to the right, and it will bounce and slide. Heisman Skeens picks it up at the 20, and he breaks a tackle out across the 25.
He's going.
He gets dropped at the 29.
With the carry, takes the ball to the 35-yard line.
It's going to be the 35. It looked like the 29 from here. It's
Yeah.
kind of hard to see the numbers with it being a grass field. We're used to calling it on turf.
Yeah, I tell you what, breakthrough 3 early is a big deal. A ball will be on the 35.
The Indians take over on offense. First and 10.
It's going to be first down and 10 for the Indians. Jason Arbogast is the one of the linemen, John Hall. Timmy Scott will be the center. Chris Pavey, Skylar Tackett on the far side. Kyler Funk, the tight end. He wears number 17. They have dual tight ends on the field with Andrew Cruz to this side. The quarterback will be Cade Campbell. Skeens to this side. Skeens goes in motion. Here comes the snap. The handoff. Campbell going to keep it. He goes up the middle, breaks a couple of tackles, and gets 2 on that first play.
Yeah, breaks through 2, and not the key way to start off, but it is a start. I know they're used to playing on grass, but not in game situation.
Yeah, it's going to be second down and 8. Ball is going to be placed at the 37. So, Ryan, a little bit different here. We're seeing Cade Campbell at the quarterback position this week.
I told you I could see, like last week, at least three new quarterbacks. Well, not new, but different quarterbacks in tonight's game. Campbell sends Heisman in motion. Heisman will take it down the line, and he will go out of bounds and after a breakthrough 1.
I think he got the first down.
I think he did.
Let's see if the chains move. If not, he's going to be a yard short. I think he's a yard short. So it's going to be third and probably 1. So it is third and 1. This is Heisman Skeens. No, I believe, no, that's Cruz under the center. He's going to get it and rush forward, and I think he may be stopped at least a yard short, maybe inches here. Looks like he's short here.
First down. This is a first down.
It is an Indian first down.
I told you I was about to say I'd be surprised if Cruz didn't get that first down because once he has the ball and he pulls away, he's strong.
Drew Castanon will come to the field. Heisman Skeens now moves to the quarterback position. We've seen that duo in the Eastbrook Panther game earlier this year connect on a game-winning touchdown pass. Skeens will send Cade Campbell in motion. Here is the handoff to Campbell. He's going to cut inside, and he is not going to go anywhere because number 42, Jamarius Evans, was on the stop, a 6'4 sophomore. A nice tackle there by Evans. Good play by the Tigers. It's going to be second and 10 at the 45. Skeens going to be the quarterback. You might watch a direct snap to Campbell here, though. Here's Skeens. The shotgun sends Campbell in motion to the far side. Skeens back to pass, and the pass is going to be a little bit out in front of Campbell, and it brings up third down. Ryan, looks like the Indians a little out of rhythm here.
Yeah, a little out of the rhythm, and it's honestly surprising going back to last week on that 19-second into the game play. Let's see on third down, 10 to go. Let's see what the Indians can do. Hopefully they can get this first down. and let's march down the field.
Bryce Ludke will come onto the field. Kyler Funk will exit. Carson Campbell to the far side. They got two receivers to the far side. That would be Drew Castanon, Carson Campbell, the tight end on the far side. And actually going to come to this side now will be Andrew Cruz. The receivers will be Bryce Ludke and Cade Campbell on this side. Skeens, the quarterback. Back in the shotgun, takes the snap. Looking back to pass, going to throw across the field, and he finds Andrew Cruz.
Cruz will be dropped down, but an amazing catch, and that should be a first down.
How about that, Ryan? We talked about the Indians going to have to stop the pass across the middle, but Yorktown gives up a big pass, I believe about a 26-yard pass to the tight end, Cruz. How about that?
And you see and you hear Indian fans go, Cruz, because he just had an amazing catch to make them march down the field. 1st and 10 on the 34-yard line.
Cade Campbell goes back to the quarterback position now like we've seen last week, Ryan. And like you said, we're going to see probably a 3-quarterback rotation between Campbell, Skeens, and Cruz here tonight.
Campbell sends Skeens in motion. Campbell takes it by himself of a gain at least 1.
He was knocked down in the backfield by number 51, Devin Thompson, and number 42, Jamarius Evans, 2 of their star defensive players. Campbell comes up a little wobbly, holding his hand, and got a little bit of a limp. That's not good. Campbell does not want to put any pressure on that leg. He's trying to walk it off here. Campbell definitely shooken up here on this play. Here is Skeens with 2 seconds on the play clock to snap it down to 1, and he gets it off. Here's Skeens going to keep it around the far side, cuts inside of a tackle, and I believe gets probably 3 on that one. Did not see who was there to stop him. I believe that was number 25,
yes,
Austin Hill.
Yeah, Skeens takes it, breaks through 2, but Cade Campbell is still hurting, and that'll be 3rd down and 9 to go.
Campbell, you can tell that he's a warrior. He doesn't want to come out of the game. That's why he just walked it off. His brother Carson in the backfield. Look at that. The 3-headed monsters that we like to call it.
Yes, we do.
Both of the Campbell boys and Skeens. Carson only a freshman and Cade only a junior, so we get at least another year of Cade and 3 more years of Carson. Here's Castanon in motion to this side. Skeens back to pass, rolls back. Good block from Skylar Tackett. Skeens
will take it by himself, and he will slide.
He's going to be short, at least 2 or 3 yards.
Short.
How about the block? Like I said, the keys to victory for the Indians. How about the block from Skylar Tackett to give Skeens enough time to roll out?
Yeah, a great stop, stay in front, and hold him back until Skeens releases the ball. And I tell you, Tackett is one of the kids that can do that. I mean, he is strong.
It's 4th and 5 in Tiger territory. The Indians are definitely going to go for it here. They're in 4th down territory. The Indians in a no-huddle offense got the play cards on their side. Here is Skeens. Skeens will get the snap, roll out to the left. He's going to look down the field and throw, and he has Campbell.
Campbell will take it and breaks through 0, but has no one around him, goes out of bounds, and that should be an Indian first down, and that is first down, Indians.
Skeens is 2 for 3 passing and probably close to about 50 yards now. We're not keeping individual stats for each player, but Heisman doing a phenomenal job getting the ball distributed to who he needs to get it to. We saw Cruz with a pass across the middle, got out to the corner here to Cade Campbell, his cousin, and Cade takes it for a first down, and they're marching farther and farther into Tiger territory. This is a very good Yorktown team.
See what the Indians can do here. First down, 10 to go, ball's on the 16, so a lot of things can happen. Campbell takes it, and a gain of 0, if not a loss of 1.
Number 85 on the stop, John LaPrade. You know, Coach Funk talked about it in the interview with you a little bit earlier today, Ryan. He said that Yorktown's, what they're strong at is the run defense, and you can see it right now.
Yeah, for sure. And the Indians, what they need to do is they need to work around it. I mean, ball's on the 13, so good things can happen here for the Indians.
Skeens back in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the far side. Seems like the Indians are good on 3rd and 4th down, at least tonight. Rain still coming down at a pretty good pace here. Campbell back in the quarterback position. He's going to send Heisman Skeens in motion. Campbell, it's a fumble, and I believe the Yorktown Tigers have fell on top of the ball. It's going to be Yorktown ball, and that is what you do not want to see if you're Coach Funk and this Indians football team.
Yeah, you can't have that happen, especially when it's on third down, and you can see Coach Funk is frustrated, but it's time to play D.
Number 12, Reed Neal. Neal looking back to pass. Cruz back in the backfield. He's under heavy pressure, and it's going to be almost intercepted by Heisman Skeens.
So close. You saw Skeens creeping up slow and try to get around him, and it was close. That'll be bringing up second down at the same place he started.
Skeens read that pass like a book. He just came flying in and almost had it. Just so much momentum going forward. Was not able to hang on to the ball.
It'll be 2nd and 10. 10 to go. Ball is on the 16.
Here is a handoff, and he is going to be brought down by number 79, Skylar Tackett. Tackett got an arm around him, and then it looked like John Hall and maybe Carson Campbell in there.
Be 3rd down and 7 to go. Balls will be on the 18. Indians get a stop here, Dalton. It's something we talked about earlier. Indians need to get stops quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what their quarterback, Reed Neal, can do for the Tigers here. 3rd and 7 on the 18. They're on their own territory. Neal will get the snap, roll back to pass. He's going to look down the field, and it is going to be caught. It is a catch by number 25, Austin Hill. A first down for the Tigers, and they have marched into Indian territory.
Yeah, a great catch by Yorktown, and it's not a thing you want to see from the Indians, especially when they are in Indian territory.
We talked about it all week long. We talked about it in the pregame, and we're going to talk about it now. Their quarterback, Reed Neal, can throw the football, and they have outstanding wide receivers.
They will line up on 1st down. Ball will be on the 46, and they'll take it up the middle and break through at least 3 and be brought down, and that looks like that'll be a 1st down.
The carry, that was J.J. Evans on the carry. I have no clue, what's going on right now, because the Indians defense have looked very good all season. The offense has looked good all season, and just a couple of minor mistakes here early that you've got to get corrected.
Yeah, you got to figure out what is going wrong, because you can't have them this far into Indian territory.
Here is Neal out to roll.
Meade will sack him in the backfield.
We saw Tobias Meade last year in the regional championship game make some big plays against the Greenwood football team, and tonight he's in the backfield already. And I believe, Ryan, taking a look at the stats from earlier today, Tobias Meade leads this team in sacks with almost 1 sack a game.
Yeah, and that just adds up to his 1st sack of the game, and hopefully that will be one of many. We'll line up on the 2nd down.
Neal rolling way back to pass it to screen to J.J. Evans. Evans across the 40 to the 35 and will be brought down by number 23, Carson Campbell, and number 20, Bryce Ludke.
That'll be 3rd down, 19 to go. Ball will be on the 30.
Carson Campbell.
So right now, it looks like it's all Tigers early.
3rd down, 6 to go now. Ball will be on the 30.
Here is Neal dropping back to pass again. He's going to roll out. Cruz almost got to him, but not enough. Here is the pass, and it was deflected. That was good defense, I believe, by Bryce Ludke. Let's see who it is. It was Bryce Ludke.
Yep.
So
that'll be 4th down for the Tigers.
Fourth down for the Tigers. It's 4th and 6, and on the Indian 30. They are marching into Indian territory farther and farther. Let's see. Here is Neal. Tobias Meade stepped off sides. It's going to be off sides on the defense, a 5-yard penalty. It's now going to be 4th and 1, and that is what you do not want to see. Like we said, Ryan, the mistakes have got to stop.
Yeah.
You had a fumble, you had a big passing play, and now you're jumping off sides.
Yeah, those are two little mistakes that you cannot have against a good Yorktown team.
We talked about it. A 5-5 record is very misleading. 4th and 1 on the 26. Here is a handoff to Evans. Going to go up the middle, and I think he fell forward for a first down. Let's see. He got the first down. So the Tigers are closer and closer to Indian territory. They're down to the 15, almost into the red zone.
The Indians need to get a stop, bring them back, or they need to have a great play to intercept it. I mean, yeah, like you said, they're almost into the red zone, and that's not good if you're Indian players, coaches, or fans to see Indians not focused as enough as they should be. There'll be a flag on the play as they go down the left side.
I believe it's going to be holding on number 58, which would be Caleb Howell. I seen the flag go down as Howell took Pavey to the ground. I don't know if it was a pancake block or if he took his legs out and it's going to be a hold. So let's see the call here. But it was Austin Hill on the carry. It was holding against Yorktown. I thought I did see that happen.
Yeah.
So they will move back.
That's good to have Yorktown move back.
That'll take the ball to the 31-yard line.
The ball will be on the 31, and it'll be a first down for Yorktown.
Rain continues to fall here late in the first quarter. 2:20 and counting. Here's the snap. Neal going to try to keep it.
And he'll be sacked.
Guess who was there to meet him? Number 17, Kyler Funk, with a big sack in the backfield. We talked about Kyler and Tobias Meade last week on how they were going to be the defensive players to watch for the Indians. And guess what? Kyler Funk and Tobias Meade both with sacks here tonight.
Especially what we just talked about. They need to get big stops, and that's what they did. Get a QB sack, and they'll bring up second down. Ball will be on the 35. 1 minute and 52 seconds until the end of the first quarter.
J.J. Evans moves to the left side of Neal. Neal will look for the snap and now get it. He drops back, rolling to the right, will throw, and he has Austin Hill, and Hill has about 4 on that play before he was knocked out of bounds by number 22, Drew Castanon. So Castanon on the stop there.
Down by number 22, Drew Castanon.
Third down, 13 to go. Ball will be on the 27. 1 minute and 9 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Neal will get the snap. Roll to the left. He's under pressure. He's going to be sacked. Sacked in the backfield by number 52, a senior Chris Pavey.
Yeah, Chris Pavey rolled to the backside. Neal tried to go up the line, and Pavey got him from behind. 4 and 13, ball will be on the 28 for Yorktown.
They're in Indian territory, so I'm assuming they're probably going to go for it. And this is where your defense has got to step up and not let them pass.
Yeah, get a big stop here on fourth down.
So 3 sacks early here in the first quarter for the Indians. Chris Pavey, Tobias Meade, and Kyler Funk, all with sacks here in this first quarter. Neal definitely going to look to pass. Reed will take the snap. He will drop back to pass, look down the field. He's got a man, and it will be, I believe, intercepted. No, it is incomplete. But Drew Castanon was there to break it up, had it in his hands, and then it hits the ground, and it's going to be incomplete, I believe. They can't call that a catch. There's no way. It is incomplete, so the Indians will take over on downs.
That's good news, especially on breaks. We say, you got to get big stops, and you can't get them into Indian territory. And with 9 seconds left to take over on downs, that's perfect for the Indians.
Drew Castanon, I'm telling you what, the kid has got hands of glue because he's made an outstanding catch against Eastbrook, had an interception last week against Western, and just barely missed an interception here tonight.
Indians will be on the 28-yard line. Skeens will send, or Campbell will send Skeens in motion. Skeens on the home side or visitor side.
I think he got 3 on that play.
Skeens on the carry.
I think a gain of 3. Only
A yard.
A
That
yard,
looked more
man.
than that. Be second down, 8 to go. Ball will be on the 28. Campbell will send Skeens in motion. Campbell will take it by himself, and he will get a gain of 1, if not any.
I don't think he got any. I think he may have lost a yard there.
Campbell on the keeper. Tackle in the backfield. Taken down by number 30, Justin Wales.
Justin Wells on the stop for Yorktown, and I think it's going to be a timeout because it will be the end of the first quarter. So we will move into the second quarter. And
End of the first quarter, Tigers 0, Indians 0. We'll take a break and come back with the second quarter. This break is brought to you by Scott's Flooring and Installation. We'll be back in the second quarter in 1 minute. You're watching Minnesota Indians football live from Yorktown, Indiana.
welcome back to Yorktown High School. Ryan, before we get the second quarter underway, like we do every week in the second quarter, we would like to give you some publicity. If you are watching from home, go ahead and tweet your seat at MHS Tribe TV or at Dalton Bishop 00.
And we will get, we won't promise all of them, but we'll get some of them up at halftime. Again, tweet your seat. If you're at home in the cozy heat, we would like to see it because we are not in the heat. We wish we were in the heat, but we are glad you are watching. A quick play. It'll bring up fourth down.
I believe second down. As an incomplete pass intended to Carson Campbell. Skeens with the pass. It was intended for Carson Campbell.
Brings up 4th and 12.
4th and 12. Ball will be on the 26.
11:56. It is fourth down, man. I thought the Indians just got the ball. Man, that was a quick 3 and out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Skeen's gonna punt now. Here is the punt. It was a beautiful punt.
A good
for Heisman.
punt.
It takes a big Indian bounce and falls right at the Tiger 20. So a nice punt.
Yeah, a great punt.
For Heisman Skeens.
A great bounce and roll. And we'll bring Yorktown into Indian territory. Let's see what Indians can do here on D.
Reed Neal will come out as the quarterback for the Tigers. We saw the Tigers get into Indian territory last time. The Indians had a perfect opportunity and was this fumble. Here's Neal going to throw it way down the field. Guess what? Oh, man, Heisman Skeens almost had an interception. It went right through his hands, and you can only imagine how slick that football is because it's been raining for well over the last 2 hours.
Yeah, it's still raining. It's not necessarily hard, but it's consistent. Raining hard enough that'll make the ground and ball slick.
Enough to make you wish that you were sitting inside in the heat.
Yes.
Thanks, Yorktown Press Box.
Second down, 10 to go, ball on the 20.
J.J. Evans with the carry, and he is met by Kyler Funk and Chris Pavey. So nice play there by Kyler Funk. So Pavey and Funk doing some work defensively for the Indians.
Brings up 3rd and 7 for the Tigers.
3rd down, 7 to go, ball on the 24. 11:06 left to play in the second quarter.
Here's Neal. We'll get the snap. Kyler Funk in the backfield. He is chasing Neal, and Neal will throw the ball as an incomplete pass, but Kyler Funk read the snap count perfect on that one.
Yeah, he was wide open, no one around him. He chased down the Neal and forced him to throw out of bounds. That'll bring up 4th down for the Tigers.
You can tell Kyler Funk wants this game bad. A quick 3 and out now for Yorktown, and the Indians will get the ball back. Here is their punter, number 88, a Walker Moore.
Going to be a flag.
I think it's going to be false start. That's either delay a game or false start. It's false start against Yorktown, so they will move back 5 more yards and give the Indians better field position. And the Indians are up to to defend like they're going to just fake it.
Right.
Which is fine because sometimes when the weather is like it is, you don't want to try and field this punt. It could turn out very bad for you. Now Campbell will kind of drop back a little bit.
Campbell will be in the backfield. Yorktown will punt.
It takes a Tiger bounce and drops at the 44. So the Indians will take over on their own 44. We have not seen the Indians. We have not seen the Indians get close to scoring since the turnover there.
No,
in that first quarter.
Indians will take over on downs. Ball will be on the 44.
Heisman Skeens will come back out to the quarterback position. Carson Campbell and Drew Casson on to this side. Bryce Lutke, Cade Campbell to the far side with the tight end. Andrew Cruz on that side as well. I believe you'll see one of the Campbells go in motion here. Here comes Skeens. Nope, he's going to look to pass. Skeens will throw. Here's Carson Campbell before he's leveled right at the 49.
Nice catch by freshman Carson Campbell. Be 2nd down, 10 to go. Looks like the ball will be on the 49.
Carson Campbell, a 5'3", 130-pound freshman.
A fast freshman.
5'3", 130. You don't see varsity players with that kind of a stat line. Anyway, Skeens back in the shotgun all by himself. Here comes the snap. And he kind of slipped, but keeps it up the middle, and it plans to work for him.
Skeens will be juked. Skeens will take it down the home side. Skeens will still go. He'll still go. That'll be, looks like a touchdown for the Indians.
He might have been ran out of bounds. I think he was ran out of bounds, but nonetheless, a play that wasn't going to work ended up working. Skeens took the snap, acted like he was going to pass, slipped, stayed on his feet, used his blockers. I believe Skylar Tackett and John Hall out to block. I know it was John Hall, and then a few more of the linemen got out, and Skeens was able to take it down into the red zone. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Ole Miss Indians.
Tell you what, the lines are faded, and I couldn't tell what was the end zone from here.
This is Andrew Cruz under the center, and he breaks through a tackle and then is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. But Andrew Cruz, a very, very strong football player, 6 foot, 220 pounds.
A very strong football player. That'll be 2nd and 5. Ball will be on the 5.
I think here I think Yorktown expecting the run. If you're Coach Crick or Coach Funk, do you try to draw out a pass play and catch them off guard?
And that looks like that's what they're doing right now, actually.
Looks like Skeens will move back to the quarterback position because Cruz goes back to tight end. Here's the snap. Skeens going to keep it. Trying to go up the middle, and it did not work. He was brought down by number 72, Holden Parsons.
Be third down.
Third down and goal, and Seth Kashanik. I think that might be Kyler Funk coming in. It is Kyler Funk, and number 70, Lucas Asbury. Asbury, 6'1", 220-pound freshman. It's third down and goal for the Indians. Funk down at the fullback position. Here's Cruz. Here is the pitch to the outside. Skeens tries to spin around, but guess what? Yorktown there to stop him. Number 59, Taylor Licht. Let's see. They're going to try to kick a field goal, I believe. It's fourth down for Mississinewa at the Yorktown 5. Andrew Cruz. I don't know. Are they going to bring Soliday out for a field goal attempt?
It doesn't look like it.
I'm not sure what they're doing here. I think they might let the clock run down, and then they're going to call a timeout and get stuff figured out here. So that's what will happen. Coach Funk and the Indians will take a timeout with 7:39 left to go in the first half. It's Yorktown 0, Mississinewa 0. We will do the same and take a 30-second timeout and come back. This is Mississinewa Indians football on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Yorktown High School. Ryan, the Indians back out on offense. It's 4th and 5 at the Tiger 5. If they don't score here, you're at least in Tiger territory.
Yeah. Looks like they will not send Soliday out.
Cade Campbell in motion. Skeens rolling back to pass. Will look. He's going to lob it up. It's going to be Drew Castanon, and it's going to be picked off in the end zone. The interception goes to number 80, Jared Harris. A turnover for the Indians, a fumble and an interception at the 5 of Yorktown. The Tigers will take over at, I believe it goes to the 20-yard line.
I tell you what, the Indians' mistakes are not what we're used to seeing. Indians surely need to figure it out before halftime.
So a fumble, an interception, and now Yorktown gets the ball on their own 20-yard line, and their star quarterback, Reed Neal, a 6'1", 161-pounder, will come back out and lead the Tigers on offense. We talked about Reed Neal all night. He's a phenomenal football player, very versatile on the offensive side of the ball.
Again, if you're sitting at home in the nice heat, tweet your seat at MHS Tribe TV on Twitter, and we will get you on our stream at halftime. So again, tweet your seat at MHS Tribe TV on Twitter.
Kyler Funk there with a stop for the Indians, a gain of, I believe, 3, and it was a gain of 3 for the Tigers. 2nd and 7 for the Tigers at the 23. Here's Reed Neal looking for the snap. He receives it, hands it off, up the middle. He goes, and then he's met by number 51, John Hall. That was number 25, Austin Hill on the carry. And Jonathan Hall on the stop for the Indians.
3rd down and 5 to go. Ball looks like he'll be on the 25.
Third and 5 for the Tigers. 6:40 and counting remains in the first half. A goose egg on both sides of the scoreboard. Neal will get the snap. Kyler Funk gets in. Under pressure, Neal back to pass, and he will throw it out of bounds, incomplete. And I'm telling you what, Kyler Funk must have watched film earlier this week and all week long because he knows the snap count of Reed Neal.
Yeah, great read from Meade and Funk to find the quarterback and track him down to force him to throw out of bounds.
They keep them buried back in their own territory, so it forces Yorktown to punt here. And like we said, Ryan, the Indians have got to capitalize and fix the mistakes. We're knotted up at 0. I think this is a better game than most fans thought it would be.
Yes.
Cade Campbell will be back to receive the punt. Here is the punt, right to the far side. It takes a Tiger bounce to the 40, down to the 35, to the 34, and drops, I believe, at the 33. It's going to be a 46-yard punt. So now the Indians will take over, first down and 10 at the 33. Heisman Skeens and the offense come back out on the field. Ryan, the Indians, I think, need to get onto the scoreboard here.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. You know, the Indians need to score here. 6 minutes and 17 seconds to play in the second quarter. Got to score before halftime.
I think if you score before halftime, you put yourself in a good position because Yorktown gets the ball to start the second half. Carson Campbell coming to this side of the field. Drew Castanon also on this side. Those are the lone receivers. Here is Cruz in motion. The snap, the handoff. Cade Campbell going to keep it up the middle. A gain of 4, maybe 5. 53 on the tackle for the Tigers. Mason Graham, a 6'1", 270-pound senior.
53, Mason Graham. 6-yard carry.
It was a 6-yard carry. I thought it was 4, but man, he got 6. Even better for Cade Campbell.
Second down, 4 to go. Ball's on the 40.
Cruz again going to go in motion. Now Skeen's going to keep it. Might break loose.
He's breaking loose. He's going down the home sideline. He is loose, and it's a track meet. And Heisman Skeens for an Indian touchdown.
Heisman Skeens from the 40 on his own side of the field takes it the distance. A 60-yard touchdown run for number 21, the senior quarterback Heisman Skeens. The Indians, like we said, we just talked about it, they're on the board 6-0, and Andre Soliday will come to kick the field goal.
The strong leg will come out to kick the field goal.
I joked with him yesterday at practice. I took a picture of his shoes, and I said, if anybody ever asks you if you've got a boot on, you just tell me, and I'll post the picture.
Andre Soliday will kick it up. Cruz will be the holder. Cruz calls for it. Soliday's kick is up and low. And it'll be good.
It might have been, I don't know,
I don't
it was
even
a bad
know,
hole or
yeah.
if it might have been deflected, but nonetheless, it goes through. And with 5:31 to go in the first half, it's Mississinewa on the scoreboard after a 60-yard touchdown run from Heisman Skeens. It's 7 for Mississinewa, 0 for Yorktown. We'll take a 30-second timeout and come back. This is week 2 of the IHSAA football sectional. Welcome back to Yorktown, Indiana, home of the Yorktown Tigers. A 60-yard touchdown run from Heisman Skeens and Ryan. Man, we just talked about it. And
Not even a minute later, we talked about it and took a big 60-yard run for an Indian touchdown. Soliday will kick it, and it'll be low, and it looks like it'll go out of bounds. It will be out of bounds. It'll be a flag.
Soliday frustrated with himself. You know that it's something they work on, and we saw it last week against Western.
Yes, yes.
High kick just bounced and hit off of Western Plain, and Indians fortunate enough to recover that ball. But nonetheless, let's see what they have defensively because you know the Tigers are not going to go away. Reed Neal will bring the ball out for the Tigers.
Be first down.
Tigers take over the 35.
First and 10 for the Tigers. See what Mississinewa can do on defense.
Neal back to pass, going to throw. Has a receiver, it's caught, and then knocked out of bounds by number 21, Heisman Skeens. The pass was complete to number 80, Jared Harris.
Number 21, Heisman Skeens on the tackle. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Skeens with a touchdown, then Skeens with a tackle. Heisman has waken up. Neal back to pass again. Pass complete. Juke move and a first down. That was Harris
First
again.
down.
Neal's pass complete to Jared Harris. Skeens on the stop.
Be a first down for Yorktown.
So the Yorktown first down.
First and 10, ball will be on the 48.
6 minutes to play in the first half. Marion 7, Delta 0.
J.J. Evans on the carry.
So right now, Marion with a 7-0 lead. Here in Yorktown, Mississinewa with a 7-0 lead.
Evans on the carry for Yorktown. Be second down, 7 to go. Ball will be on the 49.
Neal will get the snap. He looks to pass. He's going to throw it and have a receiver, Austin Hill. Hill at the 40, and then he is tackled by number 35, Cade Campbell. But the short 3 to 4, 5-yard passes are working right now for the Tigers, and they are into Indian territory.
Like we said, we didn't really say this as much, but eliminate the short game.
Seth Kishonik in the game at the nose tackle position. Here's the snap. The handoff, J.J. Evans goes up the middle again, up 2 or 3, and Seth Kishonik there to meet him with a stop.
Great stop by Kishonik on a good stop. There's nothing to describe it. He stayed in there strong. Be second down for Yorktown, 10 to go.
Brings up 2nd and 6 for the Tigers.
Second and 6.
Gotta watch for the pass here. 4 minutes and 5 seconds to go here in the first half. Neal looking to pass. He will throw it. He's got it. Austin Hill and Drew Castanon and Cade Campbell will be there, but Campbell will bring him down. So Hill, they are down all the way to the 18-yard line. First and 10 on the 18 for Yorktown. They are marching and marching very fast. Here's the snap, handoff. J.J. Evans runs into the back of his lineman, and then he will break through a tackle and then be brought down by number 51, John Hall.
Be second down.
Number 51, John Hall on the stop.
Hall on the stop for the Indians.
4-yard gain.
It's a 4-yard gain. 3.5 minutes remain here in the first half.
Second and 6. Ball will be on the 14.
Here's Neal, gets the snap, looking to pass. Gonna throw it to the end zone, and it's gonna be caught. It's a Yorktown touchdown, number 25, Austin Hill. It's 7-6 with 3:18 to go in the first half.
Yeah, Indian players were saying incomplete. Ball touched the ground before he caught it, but, I mean, he caught it well. Tigers 6, Mississinewa 7.
The field goal kicker will be number, I think it's 48. It is 48, Mitchell Dolworth. We'll see what he has here. Here comes the snap, the hold, the kick is right down the middle, and it's good. So with 3:18 to go in the first half, just after a Heisman Skeens 60-yard touchdown rush, a 18-yard pass from number 12, Reed Neal. He connects on a touchdown pass to Austin Hill, and just like that, we're tied with 3:18 to go here in the first half. Ryan, all of a sudden, it was like the Indians found something offensively, and right back came the Tigers to punch them in the mouth.
Yeah, I tell you, Yorktown figured something out, and it wasn't long. They figured out something quick after the 60-yard touchdown. I mean, Yorktown said, "All right, we need to go now, and we can't let us not score before halftime."
You know, when I talked to Coach Mike Wilhelm earlier today, when I had a chance to talk to him, he said that you know, everybody's overlooking us, and this is a game that we marked on our calendar last week because we knew everybody would try to overlook us, and when we're here to play football just like they are. So, you know, and we've seen that out of the Tigers tonight, but the Indians, nonetheless, will come back out on offense. You know, first we got to get through the kick return, but right now it's been a pretty even game back and forth for both teams.
Indians 7, Yorktown Tigers 7. 3:18 to play.
Jaron Harris to kick off. Jesse Palmer back to receive.
Skeens and Campbell back to receive for the Indians. Here comes the kick. Harris on the way. The kick will go right through the center of the field, take a bounce at the 20, and then bounce into Cade Campbell's hand out across the 20. To the far side he goes. He gets a good block, cuts inside to the 25, and dropped at about the 27, and that's where the Indians will take over. First down and 10 with 3:08 to go.
Ball will be on the 29, and he broke through one and slid across.
Takes it to the 28-yard line. 82, Alex Gibson on the stop.
Ryan, maybe the Indians can try to march back and get on the board again before halftime. Still 3 minutes to go, plenty of time.
Yeah, plenty of time to do something here. See what the Indians can do here on the 28.
Tied 7-7. Here we go.
Shout out to the one and only Brooks Holloway. He is doing 3 jobs and only one Brooks Holloway up here, so a great job by him.
And believe it or not, he doesn't have a barbell in his hand. Here's a nice pass to Cruz. He goes up the middle and marches for 5 or 6, stays on his feet, and he fumbled it. It was a first down, but he fumbled, and the Indians may have turned the ball over again. Yorktown pointing their way. Mississinewa says they have it, but guess what the officials say? It's Tiger football. A fumble by Andrew Cruz, 2 fumbles and an interception, and havoc continues for Coach Funk and the team.
That's something that Indian fans and Indian players and Indian coaches and Indians everywhere did not want to see.
So now the Tigers take over in the Indian 40-yard line after a touchdown. If they score here, they'll go up by 7, and then they will receive the second half kickoff. Here is Reed Neal, their quarterback. He looks, will take the snap, drop back. Now he keeps it, and it breaks through a tackle, and then he's knocked down by number 52, Chris Pavey, and I think they're going to call a face mask. Let's see. It was Chris Pavey on the stop, but we're going to see what the call is. Holding against Yorktown. 2:51 remaining in the first half. Ryan, 2 fumbles, an interception, and what much more could you ask for as far as mistakes go? If you don't fix these mistakes, you're just asking to lose.
Yeah, you got to fix these quick, and that's something that you'll hear from Coach Funk at halftime, and it won't be a pretty talk.
This is a very fast-moving football game. We've only been playing for, 46 minutes now. It's 7:46, and we're almost to halftime. So here we go. Neal will get the snap, look to throw, and incomplete. It was intended for number 25, Austin Hill. Carson Campbell on the coverage for the Indians. The biggest disadvantage right now for Ole Miss is Carson Campbell being 5'3", and Austin Hill being 6'2". That's almost a whole foot difference. If you just throw the ball up in the air, Hill's 9 times out of 10 going to catch that ball just because of the height advantage. So here we go.
Second down, 21 to go. Ball will be on the 49.
2:46 to play. Here's Kyler Funk. Gets in the backfield again. Under pressure. Here comes Andrew Cruz. He's rushing. And Neal will just keep it and run out of bounds. Under heavy, heavy pressure from the Indians. The Indians came marching along.
Yeah, good read by Cruz. Chase him down, force him out of bounds. That'll be...
Kyler Funk is causing all kinds of havoc for Reed Neal. He just gets in the backfield, it seems like, every other play.
Be third down.
The rain is continuing to fall here tonight, Ryan. The wind starting to pick up a little bit as we see the flag to our right, just waving in the wind. Neal, the quarterback, Back in the shotgun. Looking. Takes the snap. Rolls back, and it's going to be, I believe, false start on the Tigers. Delay a game on the Tigers. Another 5-yard penalty, and they march back farther and farther out of Indian territory. 2:39 on the clock. Really nothing has ran off the clock because we've had nothing but penalties. Still, it's 3rd down and a country mile to go for Yorktown.
Ball will be on the 43, 28 yards to go.
The quarterback, Reed Neal. Now what's going on? The official's going to get together here. So here we go.
Who knows what that call was?
Neal will take the snap, look back. He's rolling back to pass. We'll throw it. And a
Be
drop
incomplete,
pass,
but there'll be a flag on the play.
I think it's going to be holding on number 73, and that is Dom Cantarazite. Holding on Cantarazite. The penalty is declined and brings up 4th down.
That'll be a 4th down for Yorktown. 2 minutes in, 32 seconds left to play.
4th and 28, Ryan.
That's a
if
long
you go
ways.
for it on 4th and 28, you're just wanting the Indians to get the ball in your own territory and score. Because you're on the Indian side of the field, but they will drop back to punt. And that is number 88, Walker Moore. He's a sophomore. He's a 6'2", 232-pound sophomore. Gets the snap, and here comes the punt. A high spiral, and it bounces and rolls out of bounds. No, drops at the 24. That's where the Indians take over on offense.
Indians will take over on downs. Tigers 7, Indians 7. Take a 30-second break. This 30-second break is brought to you by Twin City Auto Body, 1427 East Main in Gas City.
Welcome back to Yorktown. 1st and 10 for the Indians. And Ryan?
I mean, like we talked about just here at the break, we've been talking a lot, and the game has sped by. You know, it's only 7:50, 50 minutes of play, and it's almost at halftime. That's pretty quick.
Skeen's going to keep it up the middle and get probably 6 on that one.
Yeah, a gain of 6 or 7. That would be 2nd down. See what the Indians can do here on offense to try to get another Indian touchdown. 2 minutes and 9 seconds and counting to play in the 2nd quarter before the half.
There's a gain of 7. 3 yards to go for the Indian 1st down as we get down to 2 minutes remaining here in the 1st half. Clock continues to run. Skeens in a shotgun. 2 receivers to this side. Here comes Cade Campbell in motion. Campbell going to get it. We'll go around the outside, cut inside of a block, and get out across the 40 and take an Indian 1st down, and the Indians will hurry back to the line, I believe, with a no-huddle offense. Austin Hill will be on the stop there for the Tigers. We talked about Austin Hill a lot tonight. We thought we might be seeing Reed Neal's name a lot, but Austin Hill came to play for the Tigers tonight.
Yeah, like we talked about earlier, and Yorktown, all their coaches said, you know, this is going to be a good game. You know, fans are not expecting us to play this well, but Indians have struggled a little bit. That's what has gained Yorktown's momentum.
Skeens will take it up the middle, a gain of 5. And the Indians hurry back to the line as the clock continues to run. I believe the clock stops.
It'll be a timeout. Timeout. Indians will take a timeout as well. This timeout is brought to you by Mike Anderson, 119 East Main Street in Gas City.
Welcome back to Yorktown High School, Ryan, and here we go. Minute and 26 left here in the first half.
Indians 7, Yorktown 7.
Man, Brooks Holloway doing a phenomenal job on that camera.
Yeah, doing 3 jobs. That's a quite
Pass
a
across
professional.
the field to
Passes
Cruz.
complete to Cruz. Cruz will be out and running, and he'll be brought down.
It should have been a horse collar. He grabbed Cruz by the back of his shoulder pads and ripped him down, but no call. But nonetheless, it's going to be first and goal in our red zone for the Indians. Heisman Skeens, 4 of 5 passing tonight, over 100 yards.
Man, I tell you what.
Down to the 6. And now it's going to be a Yorktown timeout. They're not happy with things. So with 1:18 left to go in the first half, the Indians 7 and a Yorktown 7. And Ryan, who is this timeout brought to us by?
This timeout is brought to you by Max's Barbershop in Gas City. We'll take a 30-second break and be back with more the second quarter, 1:18 left to play.
Welcome back to Yorktown High School, and the comedy continues here. But the Indians, nonetheless, on the 6-yard line in Tiger territory. Andrew Cruz will go under the center. He will take the snap, roll inside, and gain maybe a yard or 2. He is rushing forward. He will not go down. Andrew Cruz is a force. 51 on the stop for Yorktown. That was number 51, Devin Thompson. But I'm telling you what, Andrew Cruz could have been hit by a semi and not went down there.
Yeah, he brought that ball up strong. 58 seconds and counting. Be second and goal.
Cruz going to go back up underneath the center again. Cruz, the snap, will try to fight forward. They stopped him again at the line of scrimmage. Number 51, Devin Thompson, and number 53, Mason Graham, to stop him there. Down to 33 seconds to play.
A timeout. It looks like it'll be a timeout. Mississinewa will take a timeout as well. This timeout is brought to you by Turning Over a New Leaf Flowers and Gifts, 313 West Main Street in Gas City. We'll be back in 60. You're watching Mississippi Indians football on the Tribe Sports Network.
Welcome back to Yorktown High School, home of the Tigers, as we are 36 seconds away from halftime, and the Indians are close to scoring. Here we go. It's 34-6, Eastbrook over Rochester, 6:15 left in the second quarter. And now Yorktown will want a timeout. I'm telling you, this is a game of timeouts right now over the last 20 seconds here. So
timeout
we'll
is brought to you by Cafe Valley, 3701 South Adams Street in Marion.
We're going to try to get some more score updates for you while we can. Like we said, Eastbrook 34, Rochester 6, with 6:15 left to go in the first half up at Rochester. Last we knew, Marion had a 7-0 lead over Delta. Here we are tied at 7. Let's see if we can find you any more updates. We continue to look. Like we said earlier, Heisman Skeens a 60-yard rushing touchdown and then an 18-yard passing touchdown for Reed Neal. He connected with Austin Hill. Here we are.
Both teams are heading to the field here on 3rd down, 2 to go. Ball will be only 2.
We will see what the Indians have. At the halftime break, it's Marion 14, Delta 0. At the halftime break, we will go ahead and switch out one of our cameras and try to get you guys a little bit better of a view here. Here is Andrew Cruz. He sends Heisman Skeens in motion. Skeens will not keep it. Cruz will keep it and then be knocked to the ground, and that brings up 4th down.
Campbell on the carry. Tackled by number 85, John LaPrade. Brings up
Indians will go for it as the clock continues to roll on. 16 down to 15. Cruz to take the snap. Will look, and he throws it up to the end zone, and it should be pass interference, and it is.
It's pass interference.
Pass interference on the Tigers, and that moves the ball to the 1-yard line.
And I tell you what, since it's at the 1-yard line, put Cruz in there because he'll take a semi through it.
It's going to be an automatic 1st down no matter what.
Yep.
Austin Hill was called for the pass interference. Cruz just took a step back, threw it up in the air. Skeens tried to go up and get it, but Hill just too much momentum going. Knocks Skeens to the ground. So defensive pass interference.
Pass interference is the call.
9 seconds to go here in the first half.
Placed at the 1-yard line.
It's going to be at the 1-yard line. 1st and 1. And now the coach is for Yorktown out on the field trying to figure out what exactly happened. He can't believe it. But if you could see it on camera, you've seen Skeens just get knocked to the ground. He got leveled out over there.
Let's turn it to our instant replay.
I wish. Here is, I don't know what's going on. The official's having a meeting with Coach Wilhelm, I believe is who that is, and he's trying to figure out what exactly happened over there. But from our vantage point, it looked like Cruz stepped back to pass, was under pressure, lobs it up in the air. Skeens tried to go up and get it, and it looked like Hill made contact with him. I don't think it was intentional. It's just the fact that it happened.
Yeah, you know, we just turned to our instant replay, and that's what did happen.
So they take the flag away, no flag on that, and now Coach Funk has had enough. The head set it off, and he is out all the way out onto the field. He can't believe it. He cannot believe it. Coach Funk is on the field. He's had enough. That is a terrible call. They throw a flag. They call pass interference. Greenfield, or no, wait a minute. That was Wilhelm. Goes out to talk to the officials, and they say, nope, flag. Coach Funk cannot believe it. He is in that official's ear, and he should be.
Dalton, you said it all.
You cannot make a call like that at this level. You are in the Indiana State tournament. You called a call, and then you let their coach talk you into changing it. Unbelievable. Coach Funk is livid. Coach Funk cannot believe it. That is a terrible call. Unbelievable.
Tobias Meade gave Coach, hey, let's go back to the sideline here. 1st down, and the ball will be only 3.
And so now we go into the halftime break. We will come back with the second half in just a few minutes.
5 minutes and 32 seconds until we get the third quarter underway here at Yorktown. Tigers 7, Mississinewa 7, all tied up at 7. Again, tweet your seat. 5 minutes, almost last call to tweet your seat and include a picture of your TV or especially yourself so viewers can see you. Again, 5 minutes and 12 seconds left to play or to go until we get the third quarter underway. Indians 7, Tigers 7.
Welcome back to Yorktown High School, and I'll tell you, Ryan, an interesting end to that first half, and let's see what Coach Funk and the Indians have in store as we say thank you to those of you watching at home, some far and away, and we thank you so much for your support. A shout out to Hallie Plank, one of the Mississinewa girls basketball players, former Mississinewa girls basketball player, playing volleyball. A phenomenal job at the volleyball level. So thank you, Hallie, for tuning in and watching. Check this out, Ryan just had a tweet come in. Guess what? This man is getting ready to set the world on fire tomorrow, and I can tell you right now, the jacket hangs on the back of the chair. Brennan Butchie is set to run for the cross-country state meet tomorrow.
Another state appearance by Brennan Butchie from myself, Dalton Bishop, and the Mississinewa community family. Brennan, good luck tomorrow, and best of luck.
Also, good happy birthday to former Mississinewa basketball star Jared May. And a shout out to Lexi Cruzen, tuned in, watching from Florida. We'll get to the others in just a minute. This is Hill out across the 30 and will be brought down at the 35, so that's where Yorktown takes over on offense.
See if the Indians can get a good stop. You need to get a good stop early, and especially earlier here, especially how the halftime started with that play last.
So Tobias Mead was on the stop for the Indians, and now the Indians come out on defense, and I'm sure they'll be ready to go and fired up. I know how that talk went at halftime, Ryan. Here is Neal. A handoff up the middle and brought down. That was J.J. Evans. That was Kyler Funk and John Hall there to meet him.
Be second down, 8 to go, and it looks like the ball will be on the 36.
Kyler Funk is all ready to go. You can just see it. You could see it from the start of this game. Neal back in the shotgun. Will look for the snap. Here it is. He's back to pass. Here comes Kyler Funk. A pass across the middle, and he was met. That pass was caught by number 80, Jared Harris, and Bryce Lutke was there to lay him to the ground.
Tackled by number 20, Bryce Lutke.
11:06 to go here in the third quarter.
3rd and 1.
This is what we talked about, Ryan. These are the types of plays you got to get stops on. I know it's going to be hard. They only got 1 yard to go, but Reed Neal back at the quarterback position. Here's Hill across the far side, going to get it in motion, and he will get out across the first down and probably break loose.
And he is going, and he is going, and he will
score.
It'll be a touchdown for Yorktown.
For Yorktown, Austin Hill on a 53-yard touchdown run. Yorktown takes their first lead of the game. It's going to be 13-7.
Yorktown had an amazing breakout and run to get them on top of the board. 10:37 left to play in the third quarter. Yorktown on top, 13-7, and the kicker will come up to kick the extra. Dewar will kick it up for the Tigers. The kick is up, and it is good. Yorktown up 14-7. 10 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter.
We will continue with some shout-outs when we get a chance again. We know that you continue to send your tweets in to us. We appreciate it. We'll try to get to you guys when we get the chance, but right now, focused on this football game. We received a tweet there at halftime. Didn't get a chance to post it. We'll do our best to do that, but Alexis Tignor and J.C. White tuned in from Manchester, New Jersey, watching this football game, supporting their Indians. We will do our best to get their picture posted when we get the opportunity. And one more shout out before we get back to business here. A shout out to Jesse Moore watching Indians football and said he's staying hydrated with some hot chocolate, staying nice and warm.
First down, 10 to go, ball on the 40.
It's going to be the kickoff on its way. Campbell and Skeens back to receive it. This one's going to drop, and Cade Campbell will pick it up. Campbell around the far side, gets
Campbell
out
will
across.
be loose, and he will go for it, and he will be out of bounds, and a good run by Cade Campbell.
So Cade Campbell with a big run, and the Indians take over on offense. Heisman Skeens will lead this Indian team back to the field. The Indians trail 14-7, 10:28 to go in the third quarter. Still a lot of football here to be played. A very, very competitive Yorktown team. It has stopped raining, but still slick out there. And very, very cold.
Ball will be on the 48 for the Indians. Skeens will be the QB.
Skeens will look for the snap. He sends Carson Campbell in motion. Here is the snap. Skeens looking to pass. And he will be sacked in the backfield by number 42, J.J. Evans.
Hey, not the best read from Skeens. He just looked too long, and he kind of fell back on that play as well. Be a sack on Skeens. Be second down, 19 to go. Ball will be on the 38.
The momentum has shifted it, and it is shifted in a storm.
10-yard loss brings up second and 19 for the Indians.
Here we go. Here is Bryce Ludke coming onto the field. He will be a receiver on this side of the field. Drew Castanon on the far side. He's got Carson Campbell and Cade Campbell in the backfield. Here is Skeens looking back to pass. Here is Campbell. Campbell will break up through the middle and get out across a gain of about, I'm going to say 12. Not quite 12, maybe 11. Caleb Howell on the stop for Yorktown. It's third down and 10, so it was a gain of 11. It was second and 21. Now it's third and 10. Back to a manageable yards to get here. Skeens in the backfield. Andrew Cruz, Cade Campbell back there with him. Here's the snap. Campbell will fake it. Now Skeens rolls out to pass. Skeens looks, and it's almost caught by Andrew Cruz, but the pass falls incomplete.
A good dive from Cruz, just fell a little short. It'll be fourth down, 10 to go. Ball will be on the 48.
I think the Indians will try to punt here. Let's see what they do.
Brings up fourth down.
It is fourth down, and Heisman Skeens will go back to punt. Here comes the snap. The snap. Skeens will keep it. It's a fake.
Skeens will take it. He breaks through two.
And I think he may have got it.
And it looks like he got the first down.
I think Skeens, it's going to be very close. Within inches, I think he's got it from here. They're going to have to bring the chains out and measure this. They've got to measure this. That is close, Ryan. From here, it is literally inches. And from our vantage point, it looks like it may be maybe an eighth of a, maybe a 16th of an inch of a first down, or just short. Unbelievable. That was a beautiful play drawn up there by the Indians. Let's see. Here comes the chains. It is a first down for Mississinewa. A big play for 21 Heisman Skeens. That may be the momentum you needed to get back into this one. The Indians never gave up. Skeens just made whatever he could out of that. It looked like he was just going to be stopped way in the backfield, and he kept it going, and he gets the first down. So the Indians with a first down.
A big first down for the Indians. 10 to go. Ball will be on the 42. Let's see what the Indians can hear. can do here on offense. See if we can get a quick touchdown with 8:50 left to play in the third quarter.
Kyler Funk in the game. Cruz under center. Here's Cruz. Looking. Takes the snap. Hands it off to Campbell. Campbell going to cut outside. And keeps breaking through. He's around the outside.
Breaking. He's going. He's on the visitor side.
A beautiful block from Skylar Tackett. I think he took it to the end zone.
And it could be an
Let's
Indian
see.
touchdown.
It's a touchdown. Cade Campbell with an Indian touchdown. A 52-yard touchdown run. And a big block up front by number 79, Skylar Tackett.
Again, that'll be an Indian touchdown.
The Indians are back on the board. It's 14-13 and a PAT to come from Andre Soliday.
Like we said, Dalton, the Indians need to get a quick touchdown here. And I think I said it with 8:30 left to play.
We talked about that play from Skeens getting that first down. It may have been the momentum they needed, and it looks like it was. So here comes the PAT. The holder will be Andrew Cruz. Here comes the snap. The snap. The hold. The kick.
The
right
kick is
through
up
the center and good.
And the score is tied up at 14 apiece. And we'll take a 60-second break at 8:27 left to play in the third quarter. Tigers 14, Indians 14. We'll take a 30-second break by Miller's American Auto Body.
Welcome back to Yorktown High School, home of the Yorktown Tigers, where things are now tied at 14 apiece. A 52-yard touchdown run from Cade Campbell. And Ryan, we talked about in our pregame show, keys to victory would be the offensive line getting big blocks. We saw a big block there from Skylar Tackett.
Yeah, Tackett, I mean, we talked about off air. I mean, we said his name, more than usual with a great stop. And like we talked at the break, this is a Greenwood competitive match.
Here comes Soliday's kickoff. The kick will go deep. This one is very deep, all the way back at the 5. Picked up. Jesse Plummer hits him. He breaks the tackle. Now he cuts up the field. And Tobias Meade there to greet him, and he will be brought down out across. I think he's at the 30, and then a flag goes in after the play. That was Austin Hill. Let's see what the flag will be, but that was Tobias Meade there on the stop. It's going to be personal foul against Mississinewa. And Coach Funk just looks at the official and shakes his head. He can't believe it.
Yeah, that's all Coach Funk can do right now. He just stand there with his headset on, just shake his head. I think he's got his word in for the night.
Yeah, I think that now the Indians got to battle the adversity. You make a mistake there defensively and give them 15 more yards onto that. So now you got to step up and make plays defensively. Reed Neal back, takes the snap, hands off. This is Evans met at the line. Who was in there to meet him? Andrew Cruz, number 31.
Hey, we keep on saying this over and over. A great stop by Cruz. He's like a semi, like we said. He's so strong that it's almost impossible to get around him.
There's 3 players' names we've said a lot defensively. It's been Cruz, Meade, and Funk. Defensive chant going for the Indians on the far side. Here's a snap. Neal, Funk in the backfield, looking under pressure. Neal will throw across the field, and it's almost intercepted. I thought Cade Campbell had it.
Man, that was close. It was close.
And that's what I like to see right there.
Yes,
Cade Campbell went over to him, helped him up. That is what you call a true sport of a football game. They both were playing hard on that play, and both, were going for the ball. And like I said, unbelievable sportsmanship from Cade Campbell to go help him up.
Third down, Go Ball is on the 48. And let's see if Indians can get a stop here.
Neal, back to pass again. Tobias Meade in the backfield. Here's a pass caught by Evans. It was knocked down at the last second. It should have been a fumble, but no call. Kyler Funk looked at the official and said, "Are you serious?" But no, he made the right call.
Yes,
that was an incomplete pass.
Brings up 4th down for Yorktown. Let's see what the Indians can do here on 4th down.
Now this is where you watch for the fake. They might try to come back and beat you at your own game. That's why nobody's back to receive for Ole Miss. Now Skeens will drop back. Here comes the snap. It's a low snap. It bounces. And then the punt is kind of a knuckleball punt that bounces and takes a Tiger bounce even farther. And it's going to be, I think, at the 13-yard line. That's where the Indians will take over on offense. And Ryan, now that you got to stop, now can the Indians capitalize and come back and get another touchdown?
Yeah, you got to find open space. You got to find open space on either sideline or up the middle, and that's what Indians done last week. That worked out for them so well.
It's so weird for me and you and even the Indian fans to not have already had 20-plus points on the board, but now you're at the, you're in a sectional, and this is the best of the best competition, and it's not going to be easy from here on out. But nonetheless, we're knotted up at 14 with 7:28 to go in the third. Who's at the quarterback position this time? Is it Skeens?
Yeah, Skeens. Skeens at the QB position for this play.
Here's Skeens.
There'll be a flag, a gain of at least 4.
There was a flag on the far side. It could have been holding, which it probably will be. When the flag comes in late like that, it's either blocking it back or holding.
Holding.
It was holding against the Indians, like you said, Ryan.
The flag is holding against Mississinewa.
And the Tiger fans wrote a life there. They liked that one. 14-14, a very, very, very close game. The Indians are definitely having to earn this one. Skeens all the way back against the goal line in the shotgun. No, that's Cruz under the center. Cruz will send Kyler Funk in motion. Here's the snap. Turns around, hands it off to Campbell. He's got open field.
He keeps on going. He breaks through one. He's on the sideline. He still up, and he is down, and looks like it'll be a keeper for the first down.
Campbell all the way from the 7 out across to the 44-yard line. A huge carry for Cade Campbell, a gain of 38. Big run by Cade Campbell. You knew it was just a matter of time before the legs of Cade Campbell got rolling. He had 28 carries, 176 yards, and 3 touchdowns last week, and he is starting to get going now, and the momentum for Cade Campbell is arising. As we say in basketball, when a player gets hot, they are en fuego. Here is Cruz under the center. Looks, turns around, hands it off to Skeens. Skeens up the middle, a gain of about 4 or 5 before he's knocked down, and he was met by number 85, John LaPrade.
Second down.
Tobias Meade coming out onto the field, I'm sure probably to block. Campbell will exit. Second and 5 for Mississinewa. Gain of 5 there for Heisman.
6:30 left to play in the third quarter.
Cruz back under the center. The Indians just going to try to ground and pound the ball here. Here's a pitch to the outside to Skeens. Skeens cuts inside of a block. He's got open field. Out across to the first down. 6 or 7 yards there, and they march into Tiger territory.
See, this is what we talked about. This is what the Indians need to do to get a touchdown, gain more momentum, and take the sideline up the middle or another sideline to get closer to the end zone. That's what he did right there.
I liked what you said in the pregame. If you get open field, you're in good shape because once you get Skeens, Campbell, or even Carson Campbell out in the open, you're probably not going to catch them. And right now, we've seen that when Campbell and Skeens get out in the open, they're gone.
For sure.
But it's just the fact of getting out into the open. But a gain of 4 or 5 each and every play, the Indians are starting to march here. Here's Cruz. Hands it off. Campbell. A gain of 3 or 4 again. And Ryan, like we said, the momentum there, you chop, knock away at it there, 3 or 4 yards. Every time that you can get 3 or 4 yards of play, it's good. And it's better than the 1 or 2 they were getting earlier.
And it's the thing, if you you play the short game, see if that works for a while, or do you change something up? Because short game right here, I think is working for the Indians for the time being.
If you can keep chipping away at the run game, that'll open up a big pass play down the field because they'll be expecting a run and then a play action pass down the field, and you might have something. Here's Cruz back under the center. And Campbell, he was knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Could have been a loss of 2 or 3 because J.J. Evans got in the backfield in no time, untouched. That was number 51 at the bottom of the pile, Devin Thompson with the tackle.
4:58 left to play in the third quarter, still tied up apiece with 14s.
3rd down and 7. Heisman Skeens comes back to the quarterback. No, wait a minute. Cruz, it confuses me because we're so used to seeing Skeens in the shotgun, and then Cruz just goes under the center there. There's Cruz, sends Kyler Funk in motion to the far side. A fake pitch to the outside. Here's Cade Campbell, cuts back inside, gets a block, cuts up the middle, and he might have got out to the first down, maybe a yard short. I think it'll be 4th and 1, but no, they said the chains move, and it is first down for Mississinewa.
That's good news for the Indians. First down after first down, that's what the Indians need. Play the short game, and it'll pay off.
A very interesting game here, nonetheless, in Yorktown, Indiana.
A very good game in Yorktown.
Last score update we had, it was Marion 14, Delta 0 at the halftime break. When we get more information on that, we will pass it along to you. Andrew Cruz under the center. He sends Kyler Funk in motion again to the far side. Now Cruz will keep it up the middle and rush forward, and forward momentum will get him 3 or 4 on that play. That was Andrew Cruz with the quarterback keeper. He is just so big and so strong. Hard to take him down.
Stop by number 72, Holden Parsons.
Tobias Meade comes back into the lineup.
2nd and 5, ball will be on the 28.
The offensive line doing a phenomenal job for Mississinewa right now, getting good blocks. Here's Cruz. Cruz takes the snap. Hands it off, Skeens around the outside, gets some momentum, and drives to the first down, and a gain of about 6 or 7 after that.
And I tell you that, keep the short game working, because if you draw out the right play, get a short game going, and take it down the line, and that's what they did there.
The Indians are just going back to what's been successful for them this season. Pound the ball, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, and then all of a sudden break out a big pass play when you need to. But right now, they were playing, in the first half, they were playing the Tigers game, and that was passing the ball, and they weren't having very much success. But now they're starting to chip away at it and get 3 or 4 yards of carry, and you see what's happening. They're down almost into the red zone. Cruz again, under the center. Will hand it off to Campbell, gets a block from Tackett, but not much more after that. He gained maybe 1 on that one.
Campbell on the carry.
That was number 82, Alex Gibson, on the stop. So, Ryan, you have 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. You're down into Tiger territory. It's 2nd and 7. What do you do if you're Coach Funk in the offense right here?
I tell you what, I'll be honest with you. Keep the short game going. It's working.
They're very successful with this short game right now. At first, they were trying to go for the big plays, 40, 50 yards. But now that they're chipping away at it, they're chipping off the clock, and they're also driving down the field. And that could be 2 scores in a row for the Indians here. Here's Cruz. Turns, pitches it to Skeens. He gets a block from Meade. A very good block from Tobias Meade. But after that, not much more again.
Looks like he slipped.
That was Devin Thompson on the stop again for Yorktown. We've said his name a lot defensively.
3rd down, 7 to go. Ball will be on the 14.
You can, both sides, both fans, both sides cheerleaders, the players, they're all into this one. Both cheering for their teams. Cruz under the center. 7 seconds on the clock, now 5. Down to 4 in the snap. Hands off. Skeens goes up the middle, and he didn't get it. They said there's a fumble, but I think he was down.
Yeah, he was down.
4th down, and I think 1 or 2. No, 4th and 4. Man, It looked like he got more than that. 4th down, and the offense is going to stay on the field. And I think, Ryan, I like personally going for it here because if you don't get it, they're buried in their own territory.
Right.
If you decide to kick a field goal and you make it, but then they get a touchdown,
Yep.
you're forced to go for a 2-point conversion later on in the game.
Yep. 1 minute.
1 minute remains in the third. And a timeout going to be called by Coach Funk and the Indians.
Timeout is brought to you by Summers Heating and Cooling, 614 East 4th Street in Marion. We'll be back in 60. You're watching Mississippi Indians football live from Yorktown, Indiana.
Here we go. Ryan Scott back at Yorktown High School. The Indians are going for the field goal here. Andre Soliday. The Indians are being aggressive here, going to try to get some points. Soliday. Here comes the snap. The snap, the hold, the kick, and Andre Soliday gives the Indians a lead, 17-14 with 48 seconds to play in the third. A beautiful, beautiful kick by Andre Soliday, and who I like to call Adam Vinatieri because he is clutch.
I tell you what, when he is needed, he comes in clutch because he has that strong boot. And like you said, that picture, man, if someone asks, do you have a boot on? Well, yeah, I do.
I joked with him yesterday, like I told you earlier, Ryan. I said, if somebody asks you if you've got a boot on, you just let me know, and I'll post the picture that you have shoes on. These are cleats. We saw him earlier in the year try to attempt like a 48-yard field goal and just barely missed it.
Barely, literally barely.
As you can see, the Indian fans sit across the way.
Man, our cameraman is doing one heck of a job over here.
I think this might be the first time I've seen him work a camera. Just kidding.
Man, yeah, all seriousness, thank you and great job, Mr. Holloway.
The kickoff team comes onto the field. John Hall, Jesse Plummer, Bryce Lutke, Gage Peterson, Tobias Meade, the kicker Andre Soliday, Elijah Standridge, number 2. Chris Pavey wears number 52, number 85, Eli Felver, number 10, Peyton McPeak, and number 17, Kyler Funk is the kickoff team for the Indians. But nonetheless, Indians have a lead. It's 17-14. 48 seconds to play here in the third. Now you got to rely on your defense to get some stops.
Yes.
Like they say, defense wins championships. Here's Soliday's kick. Kind of a high kick, and it bounces in the air. Oh, man, what a hit. Jesse Plummer was there, and he flat leveled him. Who was that? That was number 80 on the return. Not really a return. Jared Harris picked the ball up, and Jesse Plummer leveled him to the ground. A huge hit. It's 1st and 10 for the Yorktown Tigers.
46 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Indians 17, Tigers 14.
Here's Neal back to pass. Looks. He's going to throw. And incomplete pass.
Incomplete.
Harris was the intended receiver. A very competitive game here in Yorktown.
Comes up on second down, 10 to go. Ball's on the 27. Reed looks and will be complete. Catch will be complete. Almost stopped by freshman Carson Campbell. Then will be out of bounds.
That was Carson Campbell. He missed the tackle, then chased him down and tackled him. But, man, like I said earlier, Carson Campbell is 5'3", a freshman, and weighs 130 pounds. Austin Hill is a 6'2", 170-pound junior, a whole foot taller. Here's Reed Neal, the snap. He looks to pass. He rolls back and throws it to number 17, and he's brought down by number 23, Carson Campbell. Number 17 with the catch. That was Mylon McCowan.
A great tackle by freshman Carson Campbell. Wraps around, takes him down, and that will be a first down for Yorktown.
Just when the Indians score, you see Yorktown marching back. But that ends the third for us. Here in Yorktown, it's Mississinewa 17, Yorktown 14, 12 minutes to go. And we see who goes to the championship and who goes home.
Be back in 60 seconds. This 60-second timeout is brought to you by Needham Story Wapner Funeral Service. We'll be back in 60. You're watching Mississippi Indians football on the Tribe Sports Network.
Welcome back to Yorktown High School.
First down, 10 to go, and ball will be on the 48 on what Indians have to do here to secure.
Like we said, the Indians are going to have to play some defense here, and that was a quick play there.
Yes.
But nonetheless, we want to thank all of you who are watching at home, some back in Gas City, some far and away out of the state, but nonetheless, they are supporting their Indians. So, here we go. We just got word from Brooks Holloway that Alexis Tignor is blamed for the clock being off.
Incomplete.
We gave her a shout out, and now we're off on the clock a little bit. Thanks. But nonetheless, here we go. Fourth quarter.
Third down. Fourth quarter, third down, 7 to go. Ball is on the 49.
This is a big third down play, Ryan. The
Yes.
Indians have got to get a stop.
Yeah, like we talked about, we keep on talking about it. The Indians have to get quick stops and have to get stops immediately. That is the key, one of the keys to victory.
If the Indians can get a stop and get the ball back and get first downs and run the clock, they've got it in their hands. But Neal rolling out to pass. He rolls to the right under pressure. Tobias Mead, he's going to throw it on the run, and it's incomplete.
And that'll bring up first down.
Bryce Lutke on the coverage. He turned back to maybe try to one-hand intercept it, but just an awkward position there.
Great pressure by the Indians.
This brings up fourth down, and this is the biggest play of this game so far.
Yes. Fourth down, 7 to go. Ball is on the 49. Indians need to get a quick stop and take over on downs.
Now, this is where you watch for the fake because right now Yorktown's looking to punt and rely on their defense, but if you're Mississinewa and he ends up punting, then you got to milk the clock and keep getting first downs. Here is the punt on its way. Skeens is going to pick it up. Around the far side, cuts up the middle, and then will be brought down at the 35, and the Indians will take over first and 10 with 11:13 to go in the ball game.
Again, first and 10. Ball is on the 35. Indians 17, Tigers 14, 11-13 in the fourth. And let's see what the Indians can do here.
Again, while we have a second, want to say good luck tomorrow to Mississinewa's own Brennan Butchie as he runs for the cross-country state championship. Huge accomplishment for that young man. This is Cruz under the center again. Indians will look to keep the short run game going. Here's Skeens around the far side, gets out, gets a good block, and gets 3 or 4 before being ran out of bounds. He was ran out of bounds by number 82, Alex Gibson, the 5'10 sophomore.
Gain of 3. Second and 7. Ball is on the 37. Indians will see. Let's see what the Indians can do here on second down. Get a quick run.
Cruz under the center. He sends Kyler Funk in motion, and Cruz will keep it and roll up the middle, and maybe got a yard.
And it'll take up third down.
It'll be third and probably 6. He got 2, so 3rd and 5. The ball's going to be placed at the 40.
Thompson and Catanzariti on the tackle. Brings up third down.
It's third down. Let's see if the Indians can get a first down here. If not, you're going to have to punt the ball because you're too far back in your own territory. Skeens back in the shotgun. Let's see if he looks to pass here or if he runs one of those motion plays. Here's Carson Campbell in motion. Skeens will pass, and the pass will be intended for Cade Campbell, but the field's so slick, Campbell slips and falls, and it brings up 4th down and 5.
4th and 5, and let's see what the Indians can do here. Like we said, you got to kick because you are too far back.
I think you have to kick the ball, Ryan.
Yeah.
I think you have to punt. You are too far back in your own territory. You don't want to give Yorktown the ball there. You want to try to pin them back in their own territory. Heisman Skeens has done a phenomenal job punting the ball here tonight, and let's see what he has here.
Austin Hill back to receive.
Hill back to receive the punt from Skeens. Here is the snap and the punt.
The punt is up and high, and it will go out of bounds, and it looks like it'll.
Ball goes out of bounds. I think it's at about the 38, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say at least 35. 38.
It's going to be 1st and 10. Ball on the Tiger 39 is where they place it.
Man, you're on it tonight.
Close. Can't really see.
Yeah.
That's why I got glasses. (10-19) remains in this game. Yorktown gets the ball back. Their star quarterback, Reed Neal, will take the snap, hand off to J.J. Evans, and he is stopped by number 31, Andrew Cruz, and it looked like number 51, John Hall, there to meet him. It was Cruz on. So Cruz has had a phenomenal game both offensively and defensively. And defensively, we've talked about John Hall here recently. He's been getting up into the mix.
2nd and 7. Ball's on the 42. 9:46 left to play in the final and 4th quarter. Neal will take it. He looks, and he'll go long, and he'll go deep, and it's incomplete.
Number 17, Mylon McCowan had Heisman Skeens beat down the field. If he connects on that, Yorktown takes the lead. The Indians' pass coverage, like we've said it all year, they have struggled. Looks like he was a little overthrown, but man, oh man, what a break for Ole Miss.
Bring up 3rd down. 7 to go. Ball's on the 42. Let's see if the Indians can get a stop here. Got to get stops early if you're the Indians.
Here's Hill in motion. The snap. Neal under pressure from Meade. And that pass was caught by number 25, Austin Hill, and he was drilled by number 35, Cade Campbell. Neal comes up limping. Neal comes, or no, that was Hill. He comes wobbling off the field. It is 4th down, and I believe 7. It is 4th and 7, and at this point, Yorktown says we have got to go for it. They feel like this is it. Here is Neal. Trying to draw Mississinewa off sides. And the snap. Neal runs into his own teammate, and he is dropped by Tobias Meade. And I think he got the first down. I thought it was 4th and 7, but it was 4th and 1.
Yeah, I don't know. It's close.
The Indians are saying that he is short. I think this is going to be one of those they're going to have to measure again. Cruz says he's got the stop, and they're saying it's Indian ball. Let's see. It is a stop!
Yep.
Andrew Cruz comes up with a big play. Fist pumps at the sideline, and the Indians take over on downs.
I was going to tell you because Coach Crick for the Indians came in front, of the field, right in front by the chain gang, and looked and said, hey, guys, it's us.
A big play by Andrew Cruz. We talked about him all last week. Steps up into position.
Yes.
When Heisman Skeens goes down, he puts the team on his back, carries them, and makes a phenomenal play here on 4th and 1, and the Indians take over at the 48. They are in Tiger territory. This is where you milk the clock here.
Yes. 10 to go.
Here's Cruz.
Cruz hands it off to Cade Campbell. Cade Campbell breaks through one, and he'll be dropped down.
I like what the Indians are doing here. They're giving Skeens and Campbell a break along with, they're bringing in Tobias Meade, they're bringing in Kyler Funk. They're just throwing everything but the kitchen sink at Yorktown. Trying to get them out of sync, things that they haven't seen on film.
That's some of the things that Indians worked on practice when we were watching a couple days ago, working on the things that can throw Yorktown off guard.
We know we didn't see Cruz under center last week. Here is Cade Campbell, and there's going to be a holding penalty. I'm sure he's going to be called. But look here, a nice block by Jason Arbogast out there. It's going to be a holding on Mississinewa. It's holding on Mississinewa, and the Tiger fans roar to life. So just when you make a big play and you get some momentum, you get a holding call, and that sets you back a little bit. A very, very, very competitive football game here tonight.
Yes.
We have talked and talked and talked about it since last Friday. What would happen this Friday? A lot of people saying the Indians no doubt going to beat Yorktown, but guess what? Here tonight, the Indians are proven, and the Tigers have proven themselves that you're not just going to come to our place and beat us.
8:35 left to play in the final and fourth quarter in the second round of Sectional 21.
Cruz, hands off Skeens. Skeens breaks it up the middle, gets out across the 15, takes it into Tiger territory in a gain of about 11, and it's going to be third in probably 8 or 9.
Third down.
Let's see where they officially mark it. I think it's third and 7.
Yep.
It was a gain of 10 for Heisman. Manageable third down here.
3rd and 7. Ball's on the 45. Let's see what the Indians can do here. Break away and go into the end zone.
Here's Cruz again under the center. I'd like to see Cruz try to break one out and pass. Pitches it out. Here's Skeens. Skeens cuts inside, gets a block. He's gone.
He's gone. It's a track meet. Indians are gone. Heisman Skeens takes it for an Indian touchdown.
Heisman Skeens 45 yards. Ryan Scott, the Indians may have just sealed the deal.
7 minutes and 36.
7 minutes and 36 seconds to go. And if Andre Soliday can connect on this PAT, the Indians will go up 10. And with the way the defense has played here in the second half, they are looking very, very good. As some of the Tiger fans look in disbelief. Soliday, here comes the hold. Cruz.
Kick is up, and like always, it is up and good.
So, Ryan, we talked about it. The Indians had to get a stop on 4th down. They get that stop. They get a holding penalty, but it doesn't affect them because Heisman Skeens breaks away for 45 yards and puts the Indians up 10.
7 minutes and 30 seconds left to play in the fourth and final quarter of the second round of Sectional 21. Indians 24, Tigers 14. We'll be back in 60. You're watching Mississippi Indians football on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Yorktown, home of the Tigers. 7 minutes and 36 seconds left to play in the fourth and final quarter.
Look at our producer, Brooks Holloway. He's up here running the camera, eating chocolate chip cookies, doing the score. Man, he does it all, don't he?
Man, that's professional. Send him to the ESPN.
He even drove us here.
A great chauffeur.
I know I put on about 4 or 5 seatbelts, but he got us here. No, he did a good job. Here we go. Soliday. The kick. It's going to be received, I believe, by Hill. He hands it off to McCowan.
Whoa.
McCowan to the far side, out and running, and he's going to be ran out of bounds by number 17, Kyler Funk.
I tell you what, I was not expecting that.
No, that's why I think Yorktown did that to try to catch the Indians off guard, but the Indians, too experienced and know that was probably going to come.
Yeah. Ball will be placed on the 27-yard line.
A 10-point lead for Ole Miss, as we will try to get an update on the Marion Delta football game. Reed Neal. Here is Neal. He's going to pass. Pass is caught. This is number 80, Jared Harris, and he was brought down by number 52, Chris Pavey. So Chris Pavey on the stop there for the Indians. See if we can't find a score here on the Marion Delta game. That was Neal on the keeper, and he was brought down by number 35, Cade Campbell. So Cade Campbell on the stop there. It's 3rd and 1 for the Tigers. Heading into the 4th quarter, it's Marion 37, Delta 0.
37-0?
Heading to the 4th quarter, it's Eastbrook 48, Rochester 12, and Drew Castanon lowered the shoulder and leveled him. That was Austin Hill. A big, big hit by a big-time corner. Drew Castanon came out of nowhere, and he was like, you're not getting much farther.
6:19 here to play in the 4th quarter. Indians on top, 24-14. It'll be an official's timeout.
So here is Reed Neal. Neal will look. He gets the snap, drops back to pass. Chris Pavey in the backfield. Under pressure, he's going to be brought around, and that should be a flag. There was nobody in the vicinity for Yorktown. That should be intentional grounding, I think. Yeah, they throw the flag. Yep. Now they throw it. There was no one in the vicinity for Yorktown. Yep. He just didn't want to get sacked, so he threw it, but it's a penalty because no one in the vicinity, like I said. A final from Delta. Marion 37, Delta 0. So the winner of this game will play Marion next Friday. That score courtesy comes to us from former Mississinewa football player Devin Dill, who we saw reach the end zone a few times last season.
We're about to get a ton of Marion viewers.
So here we go. Here comes the snap. He drops back to pass. This is Neal. Under pressure again. Who is it?
He could be sacked, and he throws it out of bounds.
Who was that? That was number 2, Elijah Standridge, getting into the backfield almost. It looked like Standridge was trying to get around his defender, and his defender shoved him towards Neal, which helped Standridge out, and he almost sacked Reed Neal. So that brings up 3rd down and 18. So a big play there from Elijah Standridge, I believe his first few minutes of this ball game.
5 minutes and 54 seconds to play in the final and 4th quarter of Sectional 21.
Here's Neal. Funk in the backfield. And the pass will be complete to Milan McCowan, but he was brought down by number 23, Carson Campbell. And John Hall comes up a little wobbly, but nonetheless,
he
he's
took
up.
it hard.
Football is a physical sport. Coach Funk hung up a banner back, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, hung up a banner that said, I can't remember what sport it was, he said, but it was something as a contact sport. Football is a physical sport, and that it is. It's 4th down and 8, and it looks like Yorktown is going to punt, but no, a timeout, Yorktown. So with 5 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the game, 4th down and 8, Yorktown on their own 37, Mississinewa 24, Yorktown 14, and Ryan, who is this timeout brought to us by?
Timeout is brought to you by Nicholson Realty, 121 North 3rd Street in Gas City. We'll be back in 60. You're watching Mississippi Indians play Sectional 21 live from Yorktown, Indiana.
Welcome back to Yorktown High School, and Ryan, 24-14, 4th and 8. What do the Yorktown Tigers do here? It looks like they're going for it here.
Indians got to get stops.
Neal back to pass. He's going to pass. It's going to be tipped. An incomplete pass. A turnover on downs, in the Indians will take over.
Coach Barnes and Coach Stearns went crazy.
That's what Coach Barnes loves. He loves defense. You know why? He's a defensive coordinator, so it makes sense.
I wonder why he loves it. 5 minutes and 5 seconds to play in the final and 4th quarter for Sectional 21. Indians 24, Tigers 14.
This Indian football team has really battled back the adversity earlier in the game. A fumble, an interception, another fumble, a touchdown by Yorktown. When everything was going bad, the Indians never gave up, and they've battled adversity here tonight. Andrew Cruz under the center, looks for the snap, hands off to Campbell. He goes up the middle and is hit, and he was brought down by number 25, Austin Hill.
Campbell on the carry. Tackled by number 25, Austin Hill.
4:50 and counting remaining in this football game. Elijah Standridge comes into the game for Ole Miss. He wears number 2. Standridge, a 5'8", 160-pound sophomore. The Indians just trying to get some fresh legs on the field. A very physical game here. Here is Cruz under the center. Looking. Cruz gets the snap. Hands off to Campbell. Campbell rushing forward. I think he got the first down. He got a second life there. He's like he got stuffed, and then he broke around and got some forward momentum. I think he got a first down.
At least 3 and...
No, it's going to be third and 1.
3rd and 1, yeah. This is a time you put Cruz right there, and he'll just plow through it.
Let Cruz take it, and everybody get behind him and shove him, and he's bound to get a first down. I mean, he is a truck.
Semi.
If the Indians are able to escape this one.
A final from Kelly Scott. Eastbrooks wins 48-20.
48-20, big win for the Panthers. So congratulations to Coach Adamson and the Panthers.
Yes.
As they continue to march on in the tournament. They will play for a sectional championship next week, and we will be rooting them on. The CIC team representing Grant County very well. So it's a first down Indians. Like I said, if the Indians are able to escape this one, they would play Marion next week in Gas City. Stay tuned throughout the week, but this one is far from over.
3 minutes and 48 seconds and counting left to play.
Cruz goes under center again. Clock continues to run. Hands it off. Who was that? That was Kyler Funk on the carry. He got 2 or 3. His first carry of the game. Kyler Funk looking awful stout back there at the fullback position. First time I've seen him carry the ball since his freshman year.
Yeah.
He did a great job then. Again, if you are watching at home, thank you so much for your support. Like I said earlier, those of you watching back in Gas City cheering on the Indians, those of you far and away and out of the state, we thank you for your support.
2:55 and counting.
Cruz, hands off. This is Skeens, and he is knocked down at the line of scrimmage, and that was number 73. No, that was 72, Holden Parsons.
Timeout, Yorktown. We'll take a timeout as well. This timeout is brought to you by Grant County State Bank, proudly serving Grant County for over 70 years. Marion, Sweetser, and Swayze growing in our community. Welcome back to the home of the Tigers. 2:47 left to play in the fourth quarter. Indians lead 24-14. Third down, 5 to go.
Cruz, he tried to get that one too. I think that was Skeens, and it was, and he was knocked down by number 58, Caleb Howe. A timeout, Yorktown with 2:43 left in the game, 4th and 7. And I think if you're Mississinewa, Ryan, you kick a field goal with Soliday and add more onto the board.
Yeah. Timeout is brought to you by Jackson's Dairy Farm, 789 East Old Kokomo Road in Marion. We'll be back in 60. You're watching Mississinewa Indians football live on the Tribe Sports Network.
Welcome back to Yorktown High School. 2:43 left in the game. 4th and 7 for the Indians. They will go for it.
7 to go.
This is Skeens back to pass. Or he looks like he's probably going to pass because he's in a shotgun. Skeens gets a snap. He is back to pass. Will look, going to throw across the field. And it's caught by Kyler Funk. And it's a first down. And he was on the ground. I don't know if they're going to call incomplete or if he was down. He caught it, and he was down on the ground.
Looks like it'll be an Indian first down.
An Indian first down. And Ryan with 2:37 left in the game. That about does it.
Yeah.
Unless something crazy happens here. A big first down there. That just allows the Indian to keep chipping time off the clock.
Yep.
That was a big catch by number 17. He's had a phenomenal game here tonight.
Yes, Funk has had an amazing game.
Stay tuned as we still have 2:15 left. That was Kyler Funk on the carry. So that was Kyler Funk again. So Kyler Funk getting some time with the football in his hands here. We are down to 1 minute and 50. A minute and 40 and counting. The Indians just letting the time roll off the clock. Down to 5 seconds on the play clock. A minute and 32 on the game clock. Handoff. This was Campbell, and he slipped and fell down. But the time continues to run.
1 minute and 24 seconds left to play in the fourth and final quarter of the second round of IHSAA Sectional 21.
We are down to 1 minute to go in Sectional 21, round number 2. Here is Cruz under center. Hands off to Kyler Funk. He rushes forward. And that brings up fourth down.
See if the Indians will go for it here. 36 seconds.
And Ryan, we are now down to 30 seconds remaining. The Indians with a 10-point lead, which means for the second consecutive year, the Indians will go to the sectional championship, and they will host cross-county rival Marion next week.
18 and counting down, and
they are just going to let the clock run out here.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and it'll stop at 5 seconds. It'll be a timeout. Mississinewa, this timeout is brought to you by Good Neighbor Pharmacy, 1030 East Main in Gas City. We'll be back in 60. You're watching Mississinewa Indians football live from Yorktown. Five seconds left to play in the final and fourth quarter. Cruz will hand it off to Meade. And 2-1, then 0. And the Mississinewa Indians will go to the sectional championship the second year in a row. The Mississinewa Indians will play the county rival, the Marion Giants. For myself, Dalton Bishop, and Brooks Holloway, so long from Yorktown High School. Indians win 24-14.